We're gonna go in, we're gonna start this and be like,
Yeah.
hey.
Well, so you beat me to the punch. I was going to be like, Happy Lindsey Graham is dead day.
Oh yeah, happy Lindsey Graham is dead day,
Yeah.
by the way, everybody.
But when we were doing mic check, Brian started reading like a shitty eulogy of Lindsey.
This
A
the
truthful
CNN
one.
article announcing his
Yeah, a
death.
truthful one. But yeah. So, all right, I'll give it like maybe a minute more and then we'll get rolling.
Cool.
So, I usually cut like the first part out anyways. Um, but I don't know. I've been thinking like maybe I'll do like more soundbitey things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, you know what? If you
yeah.
toss this, I'm gonna actually. I'll be right back. This is not.
That's okay. If you need it for reference or anything.
I'm around it too much.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, you never know. I keep mine on me, and when I've interviewed people, I've been afraid people will be like, "Oh, you're like ignoring the person," but I actually am using it to look at things, or like sometimes people are like texting me like the sound cut out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all right, we'll just get rolling. Cool. Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah James. I go by Ojos Todos as a DJ. This is in process, and I'm super excited to have a very special guest with pride in mind, Brian Buttlett.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is a big one. So I imagine we're going to talk a lot today. What I'm really excited about with this session in general is this is kind of going to be the first DJ oriented interview that Brian's had.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian has been in other interviews for their advocacy work. Funnily enough, my roommate Shay interviewed you for Medium.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's your roommate?
Shaquan, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Shaquan interviewed you.
Yeah.
So I was actually looking at that and I was like, that's so funny. Like, what a small world.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, yeah, let me fix the camera really fast.
She's a little tilted.
Yeah. When I get the new camera, I'm going to get a more professional pod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I know personally I'm excited because I have known you for a long time, but like we just dropped off and like went into different worlds, but sort of came back.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my mind, I have a very specific, I'll say Brian Bartlett from the past, and then a very specific Brian Bartlett from the future.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like this period where I'm like, I don't know how this came about.
And the music kind of brought us together, but it's also
Yeah.
kind of how we started as well.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
But I don't remember. And that's another thing too. I have memory working against me. I have bad memory. I'm fully bad short-term, bad long-term. It's bad all around. So definitely I think as we fill in my gaps of memory or whatever happened when I wasn't around, we're going to really be able to give people a really cool picture of your evolution as a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, from like music appreciator, because that's what I remember, you know. We're definitely going to talk about Juicebox.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the 5-year anniversary of Juicebox. Toward the end of this, I will throw on a flyer. We also are looking for volunteers for people to put up flyers before. But
if you want, for free, you'll get a ticket to go to the party.
Yeah. So that is this Friday. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be photographing it. Brian and a bunch of awesome people, both from the Buffalo area and the Rochester area, are coming together in an amazing queer smorgasbord of talent and just taste, and it's going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to talk about Juicebox 2 and kind of how we got there.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about too is, and I'm probably going to botch this, is Frisson.
Frisson.
Yeah. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So that is kind of like your collaborative back-to-back, I don't want to say project, but kind of, I don't know.
Kind of like it's kind of like a collective, or more of a, it's more of a project than anything else.
Yeah.
With Tom DeBlaze of Soul Rehab.
Yeah. Where you really tap into, I think, a bit of a different sound than maybe what people kind of traditionally associate with you, which is really cool. So I'm going to want to talk about that too. But I'm thinking, you know, we basically have as much time as we want on a Sunday to have a little kiki and talk about things. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to force it. And I'm gonna hopefully try to avoid questions that maybe are already out there.
Hmm.
So like advocacy work, things like that. It's very much a part of you. We
Hmm.
can get into a little
We can
bit.
cover it though.
Yeah,
I mean, when as I talked about like you designing the templates, it's an example of a part of my life that people don't really know about me
yeah,
actually that are new friends of mine from my DJ career,
yeah,
the whales specifically. And,
yeah,
of course, like the advocacy work, I do sometimes feel like I have multiple sides of the coin of my life, and being a DJ is one of them. But yeah, we can
yeah.
touch
We'll
talk
talk
about
about
everything.
everything
Yeah,
everything we
whatever
can,
we want.
realistically.
Yeah.
After we talk, we have a very cool session. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I consistently kind of describe this live stream thing as a love letter from DJs to themselves, to their fans, sort of to the people in their lives. So Brian has something special planned specifically for that session. So I'm excited for that. And also, once again, if you're a DJ and you're watching, you want to be on, um, this is a very uh, accessible, non-pressure situation. If you just want to play tracks like you would on the radio, like not even worry about beat matching, transitioning, just like do like almost like a mixtape. Remember mixtapes?
Yeah,
Remember
absolutely. Yeah.
CDs? Not CDJs, CDs.
Yeah, CDs,
CDs on
mixtapes.
CDJs.
Yeah.
I really love the idea of people doing that too.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. We don't judge in this house. You
yeah,
select whatever you want,
yeah.
and you don't even have to beat match.
Yeah, no, because, to me, it's like that's what we're doing all the time.
Hmm.
So, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to start with just kind of the basic.
Sure.
Where does the name Brian Buttlett come from? Like, how did that
That's
come
a
to
good first
being?
question,
Yeah.
actually. And a lot of people have, uh, actually, no, people don't always ask me this question. They're more confused at the concept of it, if anything, because I meet so many people that are like, wait, your last name's not Buttlett, it's Bartlett. And I'll be like, yeah, no, that's my legal name is Bartlett.
Oh my
And
gosh.
but they're so close to each other. The origin of that was there was a time when I first started DJing that I was really overthinking the idea of DJ names and the concept of like thinking of something cool or trendy or interesting that would be like an earworm for people to like remember.
Yeah.
And went through so many different iterations that at the end I was just like, why don't I just be myself,
Yeah.
but a little off kilter? Because the process of thinking of the DJ name is so stupid.
It's not fun.
And silly.
Yeah.
You're thinking
It's
of you're giving yourself a moniker, like a
yeah.
superhero name, and the whole concept is so silly to me that Butlet is such a silly name, but it is also like someone like Tom DeBlaze, for example, bringing up again, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's real power in using your actual name as your DJ moniker, I guess. And I like the little twists because being a DJ is also really unserious.
Mm-hmm.
You're just,
Do you feel like it's a little campy?
yeah,
Like when you came up with it, you were kind of going for maybe like a gay camp thing?
I think so. I think I
Yeah.
was thinking from multiple points of view of it. I was kind of like, uh, adding butt into the name is kind of silly.
Yeah.
And being a DJ is silly. It's like you have aux control over a room and people are forced to listen to your music.
Yeah.
And the concept of that is silly. And it's just like it all rolled into that one concept. People still are very confused that that's not my real name. And I
You
like
could just
that too.
roll. You could just roll with it.
I could just roll with it. Yeah,
It's just kind of like,
sure.
yeah. That's so funny. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good to know. Did you have a previous iteration of a name?
I had DJ B2 at one point.
DJB too.
I had DJ, oh gosh. I had, hmm. DJ East Side. I had so many like
Yeah.
ways trying to incorporate my life because I grew up on the east side of Rochester, born and raised, grew up in East Rochester specifically. And then like I nothing really stuck with me. And frankly, I actually had a terrible relationship with my last name.
Mm-hmm.
It's my biological father's last name. And my family last name is not that name.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to hate it. And it was also kind of just taking that power back for myself personally,
Yeah.
while also incorporating it into an interesting idea as a DJ, making it fun.
Well, it's a great name. It is funny. I definitely can relate to that struggle too. Like never really found a good name until this year. I'm like, oh, this actually
The new name
sticks.
is wonderful.
Yeah,
It's so
thank you.
good.
It's yeah. The last one was a placeholder too. I was like, I don't know what to call myself, but I also there's a million Jeremiah Jameses, so I get that.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back in time
Sure.
in my blurry alcohol riddled brain. We were living then.
Last night was fun.
Yeah, 2010, 2011 alcohol.
And that too. Yeah, it's Four
Yeah.
Loco, baby.
Um, so, I was living in the South Wedge
Hmm.
on Lennon Avenue, and I would go to this really cool cafe that's still around called Equal Grounds.
Eco Grounds Coffee House.
This is actually no, actually I lied. This is prior to that. I would sneak out of my family's house because they were not down with me being gay,
Hmm.
and I would go to a little cafe that's still around called Equal Grounds.
Hmm.
Um, and it had a really community feel, which I love, and I feel like it's kind of there's like a legacy going on with Flora we can talk about. But
Hmm.
you were a barista there, and you just had like the funniest, most witty vibe about you. But you would curate like the playlists for the cafe.
Yep, we had a Pandora
Yeah.
account, and back at that time frame, this is 2000. I want to say, how long was I working there? I want to say it was like until about 2011, maybe. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
back around the
This is
2010s time frame.
2010, 2011. Yeah.
Yeah, around that time, Pandora was very
Yeah.
popular, and I utilized it a lot. That's how I created playlists for the coffee shop. Nothing is more irritating than being in a coffee house and the music is just
It's bad.
not the vibe,
Yeah.
like not atmospheric. It's not creating any type of aesthetic. It's loud, and so I literally took control of that often.
And you're like hostage basically. But I remember, what I do remember is like you and I had a similar taste in like indie was like huge then, but also like electronica kind of indie stuff. So I remember like we would talk about like Imogen Heap and like John Hopkins
Goldfrapp,
who just made they just
Roy
made a
Sop.
single like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know I just remember you doing that, but it never really occurred to me that you would want to DJ. And even I didn't like want to DJ till maybe my early 20s
Hmm.
was when I finally started like stepping out. So I guess what I want to know is like when did you make that jump to like I want to DJ, and then not just because DJing is like a broad term.
Yeah.
We could think of you making your playlist a little bit like
Yeah.
DJing, like radio
Yeah.
DJ.
Kind of.
But like when did you make the jump to like I want to like technically DJ. I want to like DJ live. Like,
Yeah.
so like let me know about like tell me that process. I don't know if everybody knows that.
Sure, absolutely. I think the first memory that I have that makes me there's two core memories which focus on this idea of being like, oh, this is something I want to do. Is the first time I realized that it was like DJing was a concept was senior prom, and particularly, in middle school, high school, we've all gone to like the school dances, homecoming dances, proms, balls, whatever. But at senior prom, and particularly, uh, the DJ was playing like electro remixes of like top 40
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It was the Jeremy Word remix of Give It To Me with Nelly Furtado and Timbaland and Justin Timberlake.
Nelly Furtado.
And Jeremy
Yeah.
Word was an excellent electro remix DJ at that time. And I remember that being such a core memory of like, oh, like this is cool. Like you can love music and then you can share it and blend it back and forth throughout the night and build the energy in a room
Yeah.
and create so much fun and joy. And then the other core memory for me was when I finally was of age to go out, and at the time that would be like being 18 and going to Tilt nightclub
Mm-hmm.
in Rochester. I would go to Tilt nightclub a lot.
Yeah, we were there.
We were
We
there
were
back
there.
in the
I
day
was
in the
on that pillar.
trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turkin.
truly, truly in the cages where the bars would break
Yes.
off. I was there. I went to Tilt a lot. I went to
Yeah.
Just Dance. I'd go on Saturday nights, and it would be sometimes it'd be no drag, and sometimes Tim Goya would turn the AC off, so it would get really hot, and
It's
everyone
like a
take their
hot
clothes
fire.
off. And the DJ there, the resident DJ, John Herbert,
Mm-hmm.
big electro
Big shout
fan.
out to John Herbert
Big shout out to John
too.
Herbert. Such an inspiration for my style and sound.
Yeah.
All of the remixes, the top 40 stuff, the electro, the house,
Yeah.
the techno stuff, and just dancing to all of this. And at that time, it was the peak of like Freemasons and Jody and Broder and Wide Boys and like all that really good pop remix shit.
Yeah.
And I was like enamored
Yeah.
with that you could take a song that's already out, turn it into something else, add a little oomph to it. And those are the two memories in my mind where I was like, I want to become this.
Yeah.
So not long after high school into college, I started like calling myself a DJ and playing little tiny things
Yeah.
here and there. So,
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, I don't remember much about the DJs there, but I know that John Herbert was definitely, I don't want to say one of the last ones, but definitely that sort of early 2000s style of like underground transitional mixing. John was doing that.
hmm
And I want to say like kind of shifted to more of a radio play, drop in, drop out.
yes.
I'm not trying to like shit talk, but
No,
that's
but that
that's
was the
that's
vibe.
what happened. And then even when I was going, I was like, and at the time I was starting to get into my own sort of techno and stuff, and I was
Mhm.
like really into like the German stuff, and I was like, this is just not it for me. Like eventually, it got harder and harder for me to
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah, yeah. The nice thing is
Yeah.
that they had the Ultra Lounge.
Yep.
And so Tilt had the main room, which was the main dance floor, and then the Ultra Lounge was the other side of Tilt.
Yep.
And this is like before I met or knew them. DJ Nickel would be there,
Yep.
Tom DeBlaze would be there, and it would be more of like an underground house
Yeah.
techno vibe on that side, which is really cool. Yeah. Fun fact, Tom DeBlaze got Honey Dijon to play at Tilt in
I did
2012.
not know that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And I remember going, and I remember so many of the gay guys being like, what is this music?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where are the remixes?
Yeah.
So shout out Tom. We're gonna shout him out a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, Tom got Honey Dijon to Tilt nightclub.
Well, my thoughts even at the time was like, this is your music though.
Yeah,
So when I would try to play more like, I'd say wordless, but like, just not like a song,
yeah,
kind of track. But I'm like, this is our legacy. Like, this
hmm
is like the thing. So I think it's
truly.
like getting there. But okay.
Mm.
So you start to see DJs playing tracks in sort of a more, I don't know, just a longer
These
set
different
kind of,
iterations of the
yeah.
songs, these remixes, and
Yeah. And so
I started
you
collecting
kind
them.
of get this idea of like that. When were you like, I want to start doing like maybe more playing out, and then even beyond playing out, more long form kind of mixes, and then like how did that happen? Like where were the first venues and stuff that
The
you were doing?
first venues, the first places that I kind of started was friends' houses, like house parties. And at the time, I was not a very good technical DJ. I was
Mm-hmm.
DJing on an iMac, that like the big ass
Yeah,
monitor,
yeah,
and
yeah,
had like Beatport Sync or Virtual DJ,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
just playing on there and using a mouse to DJ.
That's so cool though.
Which
Yeah,
was like, when you think about it, kind of genius and
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
that
yeah.
I could make that work, or anyone can.
Well, it's 2026 and we're back to that,
Yeah, we
So
are.
we're back to that with the new
hmm
CDJ 3000X and the
Yes.
1500X. You got
Yep.
your big screen back, so.
Dude, definitely. The last time I DJ'd on an iMac was in 2020, and we'll talk about that moment
Yeah,
too.
that's awesome.
But yeah, like one of my friends, Brandon Jones, I DJ'd one of his birthday parties. I was a youth coordinator and a youth leader at the Gay Alliance of the Genesee Valley Youth Center, the GAGV Youth Center, which was located on Prince Street in the Auditorium Theater. And this is after the GAGV became the Out Alliance. That is since no longer existing. But I would DJ like Day of Silence parties there,
Oh, okay.
um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
youth proms there. I DJ'd a Day of Silence at Tilt nightclub one time, which was pretty cool. I think that was 2011, 2012.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and that was like kind of jettisoning in a direction that was like, oh, this is something that I would like to keep doing, until about 2014, when about like no, actually around like 2011 or 10 was around the time that I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Stopped playing.
you kind of took a break, or you like mentally were you like, oh, like this is cool, but like I'm done with it. Like was
Um,
there any rationale behind that?
yeah, I'll actually share. I had a really traumatic experience in 2010, was it? I was sexually assaulted.
Hmm.
Disclaimer to everybody.
Yeah.
I was sexually assaulted. From this event, I also contracted HIV, which you know, all of the culminations of all of these things became a, man, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm,
I'm gonna just box this concept away, because like the life was gone in my eyes. Frankly,
yeah.
I was for 4 years. I didn't literally. I'm a completely different person than when I was at that time frame.
Yeah.
For 4 years, I just like coasted, vibed, stopped being creative. I also went to school for visual arts. I was a painter and a drawer, and I'd stopped being doing any of that. Um, it wasn't until the pandemic that I had an idea, much like many other people, of sharing recorded mixes,
Yeah.
just like putting something together and finding that spark again through sitting at home alone for so long. And
Yeah.
like people were very receptive to these mixes. I would DJ live on Facebook for a couple donation things and until Facebook took them down because they
Yeah,
recognized
yeah,
the
yeah.
music. And then I like by that point was when Tom DeBlaze approached me about an idea for a party. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
which became Juicebox.
Yeah. I think, to relate to that, in my 20s too, you kind of have this like unresolved childhood trauma, and it does something to your ability to creatively output.
Yeah.
It does something to. I don't know why. I don't really know what the relationship is. The obvious answer would be like you have to work through it, and I don't know, go to
Hmm.
counseling. But I think it's more than that. I think it like robs you of your ability to create, because creation is such a, I don't know, it's such an integral part to like who you are.
Yeah.
So when you have like a wound like that, it's like you really can't, you know.
I didn't know
Yeah.
whether or not I knew I was going to go back to it.
Yeah.
What I definitely knew is that the music never left me
Yeah.
because during that time frame and during the process of getting back on my feet, getting back out into the world and finding joy in my life again, I was finding dance floors. I was going out. I
Yeah.
was going out to places like Tilt, Still, 140 Alex. Around this time frame was also when Soul Rehab
Yep.
began, which is the underground queer dance party that Tom DeBlaze, DJ Nickel, Tony Mags, they organized that party, and I was going during the first iterations.
Yeah.
So I was constantly re-exposing myself to house and techno, dance music, and maintaining that element in myself at least until I was like, let's just dive back in again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely COVID will do that. You're like, oh, like you can
Oh.
actually sit down and like be with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think a lot of us did that then.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have all these influences, but I will say, like going into probably talking about Juicebox and how that got launched and whatever, there very much is a pop oriented vibe to Juicebox, which
Oh,
is
is there?
pretty connected to being queer. I feel like, it kind of goes hand in hand, and there's a whole history there. And it just resonates,
Yeah.
with a lot of gays. I'll say cis gays,
Hmm.
but I like everybody. But
Everybody, but it's
yeah,
a gay guy kind of vibe,
yeah, yeah. Like definitely, there's something about it.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is like, when did you start thinking like about making a party kind of around that? How did that get launched, and like what were the influences?
Mhm.
I mean, we're probably going to talk about Madonna a little bit, but like what were the influences?
Yeah.
Because I'll say this too, and this will probably hopefully be the snootiest I'll be. I didn't think that poppy housey like techno hybrids could be done well, and I'm very pleased and not all embarrassed to say that what you and Maxi have done with this, and I'm not going to say it's like new, but like the way you've done it is so tasteful. It's so tasteful, and it's so fun, and it's something that I think needs to be done well.
Mhm.
And I think now, we're seeing, these modern DJs, especially on social media, they're like pushing more into doing like, I don't know, like kind of serving
Serving the
remixy.
top 40ness,
Yeah,
serving
yeah.
like the people like the
Like
pop
it's getting whatever, but I
Yeah.
feel like you were at least ahead in the curve there. And then maybe I'm thinking, because you were seeing, how our friends, like Nick G and John Herbert and stuff were doing transitional underground style mixing,
Hmm.
that, oh,
Combining
this,
those elements
yeah,
though too.
yeah, that this can be a thing. So I guess
Yeah.
that's a big question. Like, so like go into Juicebox, your influences, and then maybe how like even the ethos of Juicebox, and then a
Yeah.
little bit I want to hear about like how Maxi hopped
Yeah,
onto
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
This I'm excited to jump into this.
yeah,
Uh to preface and to begin really back, I really what helped to go to the origins of my love and passion for popular music and pop as a sound. Um, I kind of grew up constantly musically inclined, actually. I grew up learning how to play piano by ear. I've had piano lessons, flute lessons. I was
See, I
in,
didn't know this.
yeah, I was in Sunday
Yeah.
choir at church.
Oh,
Lutheran, hey.
praising the Lord.
Yeah, yeah. So I was constantly musically inclined, and then also like casually exposed to like a range of music growing up. My dad loved 80s hair metal and Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Hmm.
My mom would listen to John Mayer at the same time she listened to Kesha. My grandparents exposed me to all their different vinyl records, including stuff like by the Beatles.
Yeah.
Um, I would go to musicals with my grandmother all the time, and she exposed me to WXXI,
Yeah.
which they played classical music, and I would go to sleep listening to WXXI every night as a kid, and I was becoming gay or finding things of proclivities about myself that was like, oh, I'm like different,
Yeah.
and I like this kind of music. And that kind of music, some of my first CDs and mixtapes were I really resonated with Celine Dion.
Hmm.
Madonna was one of my first CDs. Bedtime Stories. Uh, Oops, I Did It Again. Uh, just like I love the vibrancy, the effervescence, the feeling of like how I don't care how feminine I feel or how masculine I feel or how this like it feels good. And like kudos and credits to pop music producers that just know how to make something like an earworm and like it makes something fun.
Yeah.
So like very early on, I was fascinated by pop music. Also fascinated by the dance music compilation CDs,
Hmm.
Ultra Dance, Total Dance.
Hmm.
What were the other ones that came out in the late '90s that had all of the, that Alice DJ
Yeah.
and Better Off Alone,
Yeah.
Venga Boys, like all these compilation
It'd
CDs.
be like, that's what I call music, kind of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, they always
basically.
had like those, but like
Yeah,
you'd see
those
like
compilation
those like
CDs.
commercials that would wake you up at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but that was the way you would find music, though.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah, and that's how I also found like more of these like remixes and how also just in my mind I wasn't looking at this music in a categorized way. I was like, oh, this is just dance music.
yeah.
You can dance to this. It didn't have to be underground and it didn't have to be popular. In just my mind, it was like all of it works. It
It either
blended
resonated
together.
with you or it didn't.
Yeah. I have a really core memory of this is backed into how much I firmly believe in the poppiness of Juicebox. I had this memory in middle school. I was in an English class. Mr. Huckle, name dropping. Uh, we had a project where we had to bring in a piece of music that resonated with us in this
Hmm.
English class, and it was, why did it speak to you? Like, did it make you feel good? And like explain like this, like I bring in this album.
Yeah,
And at the time, it was like 2000. I think it was like around 2003 or four, maybe, or 2002. Some kids brought in like Eminem was popular at the time,
yeah.
Limp Bizkit, Corn. Someone brought in Bad to the Bone. Some folks brought in like Stevie Wonder, and I brought in A-Teens, the ABBA generation, which an excellent remix pop album. 18s was this Swedish pop group,
Yeah.
and their launch in their career was doing an all ABBA covers
I remember them.
album.
Yeah.
And they were just like jacked up, like
Yeah.
90s housey remix versions of their original tracks. And I loved it because it felt glittery and joyful and fun.
Yeah.
Made me want to dance. There were elements of like the house and the techno and that shit. And crazy production, and I was made fun of publicly in my whole class. Like people made fun of me. It was definitely homophobia going on. Like,
What I don't want to be fully relive it, but
yeah,
like, what were the comments? Like, what were
the
people
comments were like
saying?
specifically my English teacher, Mr. Huckle, was
Mr.
like,
Fuckle.
yeah, Mr. Huckle. He specifically was like, the reasons that you're describing aren't legitimate in my eyes. What you're trying to say, that this brings you joy or not, it's kind of, this seems like trashy. This is like trashy, kind of silly production. This doesn't seem like real music. And of
Crazy.
course, leaning in on the other kids around me are like,
Yeah.
call them like fag. call me faggot and
Oh
like
shit.
outside of the class and being like, this is so dumb, you have terrible taste in music. Literally all of
It's
that from this one
crazy.
moment. And I kind of like shelved the idea of liking
Yeah.
that kind of music
Yeah.
again for a while.
I think a lot of us did, you know. I mean, I was definitely more in like the, Nine Inch Nails broody crowd.
But everyone
But
has their
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like that's
Like why would you trash that? But I think
yeah.
too, that it's this thing of you probably did some form of masking after that,
Yeah.
like,
For a
just
while in high
yeah,
school,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure if none of this shit happened, I would have been out earlier in the closet. But
yeah,
I didn't come out until I was like maybe 17, 18, which is still
yeah,
young in a lot of contexts. But like I really just it combined these different ideas to me. It was like, oh, like some music is gay to people
yeah,
and some music is feminine in a negative connotation.
yeah,
And s- I'm supposed to like something else, but I like this
yeah,
instead. And I always found the rules, these are like unspoken kind of vibes and rules.
yeah,
And I play off of these rules and concepts all the time with something like Juicebox, which is a very pop forward presenting party that combines elements of like queer underground sound with mainstream kind of music and energy. And the approach is like this like we don't have to feel judged for the music we like. We
yeah,
don't have to feel uncomfortable to dance to something that makes you feel good
yeah,
or feel silly for it or feel like any type of negative connotation because if it brings you joy, it brings you joy
yeah.
and it should be fun should be allowed.
Yeah, and we have a comment from a watcher. Bullying, especially from teachers, can really make you hate or at least hide what you love and yourself. So that's
Deeply.
that's crazy to have that be from an authority figure,
Yeah.
and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like not on a moral level, but like an actual like factual level. Like generally, the music world, especially back then, was very intimate when it came to producers and who was working on what. So somebody could be working on a rock record and they could be working on a pop record,
Yep.
and that's insane. And like to not recognize that like each genre has its own purpose and
Hmm.
its own sort of
I should go back to
background.
Mr. Huckle at 12 Corners Middle School
Yeah,
and gift him a copy of
yeah,
Abba Generation.
we're gonna find him. We're gonna
I'm gonna
publicly
find
shame
you, Mr.
Mr.
Huckle.
Huckle.
Yeah. Fuck you
Yeah,
and thank
yeah,
you.
Mr. Fuckle. I'm gonna say Mr. Fuckle. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah, but yeah, no. So okay, so I like that idea of that kind of informing your ethos for Juice Box. That like people
Yeah.
should just love what they love, and especially leaning into the fact that a lot of queer people love pop music.
Hmm.
I was kind of thinking too, thinking about that frankly traumatic event. There's a little bit of danger with like us being fully ourselves,
Hmm.
and that goes into um maybe like drag or like just like gender expression and stuff. So, let's kind of get into concrete details about Juicebox and
Hmm.
how that started, but I think I also kind of want to hear about like when did the drag component start becoming part of it too, because I'm hearing a little bit of
The
that.
drag at the party.
Yep.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. Can do that. Um, Prior to going into the pandemic, I mentioned I was going out to parties a lot. Specifically, Soul Rehab was like a go-to. It was everyone's go-to. It was everyone's favorite. It was such a threshold and so important for queer Rochester. And at these parties, I was exposing myself to more underground styles and sounds and like real good house, real good techno.
Yeah.
And having many multiple conversations with Tom DeBlaze about things I liked, little things, ideas about music, my loves and interests in music and whatnot. I have vivid memories of talking about basement jacks to him at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and during the pandemic, we had this a little get together. It was called Mike Henry Palooza with our friend Mike Henry, who's a very good friend of mine and ours, uh, out in a little farm. And a conversation started. Invited there also was Maximus Sang, who is the other co-organizer, co-creator, co-resident DJ of Juicebox. Between the three of us, me, Max, and Tom, Tom said, I have an idea of doing another type of party in Rochester. It's more of a pop music focus because I know that's something, Brian, that you like and are good at. And I know Max has been wanting to organize stuff in Rochester parties and for a while, honestly. I know Max's approach folks that organize other nightlife settings,
Yeah.
owners of other clubs in Rochester, and said, what if we did this kind of idea for a party? And, the door would get closed and nothing would happen. And so,
And this is what I think businesses were more reluctant
mhm,
to do. Like around here, they were more reluctant to do shit or even
yeah,
like DJ stuff.
yeah.
They're
Like,
they're like,
and really gay kept the concept
yeah,
of throwing a party, really gay kept, and nightlife as it is kind of just stagnant because of that. So, and I myself, like I'm gonna name drop. I've approached people like Dee Dee Dubois, Peter Moore, the owner of the Bachelor Forum, and said
yeah,
we should do this thing. We should do XYZ. We should have like other types of music and dancing and DJs, and like just the doors will get closed because I don't know. I'm not the owner of these spaces.
yeah,
And I respect that.
yeah,
So it just turned into why don't we just create our own party?
yeah,
Tom had this idea. He had this name in mind. The name was specifically just the focus of the sweetness, the concentrated goodness of like pop and queer joy.
yeah.
Um, and it fun and bubbly and fizzy. And after that meetup at Mike Henry Palooza and moving
I
forward,
love my country.
right? We started implementing this idea. We decided that the first party would be July of 2021. It would be once things kind of opened up
Yeah.
post the beginning of COVID. Um, and it would be a party that would kick off for Rochester Pride. It would
Hmm.
also be the major energy focus moment for that weekend, or one of them at least.
Yeah.
Kind of one of the first times people really were going out.
Yeah.
And so making our plans, finding a venue, making implementing all the music that we would play, figuring out the DJs and the lineup. Um,
If you can
mhm.
find a flyer from that, you
Oh,
or
we
Max or
do.
whoever,
Max has
I
all of
can
them
like
archived
toss
for
that on the
sure.
overlay
Yeah.
on the video
Yeah, 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 yeah.
after
Well,
because
I'll message Max about it.
that would be really cool. Even
Mhm.
like this is just me spitballing like this is the first one and here's the 5 years on your
Yeah.
Insta. That could be kind of cool.
It
Just like
was
looking at it.
it was like exciting and terrifying. This doing this because this is, more credits to Tom DeBlaze, truly.
Yeah.
Tom literally was like, you want to be a DJ and I think you would be really good. And you have this sound that will resonate
Yeah.
with Queer Rochester. And he literally pushed me into the deep end with this concept of this party. And he was like, this is going to be you, and this party is going to be your sound.
That's
So build
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
And then it was also terrifying because, and this actually, no one really knows this. When I started getting into DJing, I did not anticipate, want to be a party organizer.
Mhm.
I had no plans on that. I had no interest in that,
Mhm.
frankly. I was like, oh, I'm just the DJ.
Yeah.
I don't want to organize things. I don't think I have that kind of understanding of community or that sense of like control or ability. I was really kind of just like, I want this to just be the thing that I play music at.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful for the fact that I have grown out of that and just, it like,
Yeah.
it's exciting now to organize these things.
Well, when I think about this at least, and once again, I'm still getting, blanks in there filled that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
I feel like you were sort of uniquely positioned to do that because you had already, once again, we talked about your advocacy work, but like you were doing things, like you were doing shit, you were
Yeah.
like just everywhere
Yeah.
in just a shit ton
Yeah,
of
yeah.
energy. By
Like a
the way, I
little
didn't have energy even in my 20s, like, but just like,
Energizer Bunny.
yeah, but just, everybody like knew you and everybody, once again, you're just very witty and fun and just like a good conversator, whatever,
Yeah.
and so I just think like too, like, maybe you weren't planning on wanting to do that organizing or even like
But
promoting,
it
but
kind of
like
made sense.
yeah,
The like the
but like
pipeline was
yeah,
there.
like everybody like knew you and like
Yeah.
like now, I mean,
And
yeah.
like, you know, the setup with the three of us with Juicebox is how it started, me, Tom, and Max. Tom was in the back end. Tom was not forward facing, not really the face. He was handling all the logistics of like
Yeah.
finding venues, figuring out like some of the back end stuff that Max and I don't have an understanding of.
Yeah.
And Max, God fucking bless Max, saying incredible organizer, facilitator, note taker, idealist, like the most insane, crazy, creative ideas. the organizer of this party
Yeah.
fully to the core. And my job has been the sound. From the beginning, it was really like, this is what the party kind of can sound like. This is the
Yeah.
focus. This is not necessarily what it has to be, but like the kind of vibrancy and energy of it is of what it's giving. We started at Photo City Music Hall. We've since moved to Water Street Music Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
This big now. A
big.
lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was big back at the first one.
Yeah.
And that first one was like, oh my God, we can go out again
Yeah.
and dance together on this carpet floor in Photo City Music Hall. And it was so fucking amazing and cool. And it was, the lineup was Dorian Gay,
Mm-hmm.
myself, and Elliot Pitt. Um, both extremely important people in my life and huge inspirations for
Yeah.
myself as well. I want to talk about so many other DJs in Rochester. We'll get
Yeah.
there.
Well, that's another thing too. I'm
Yeah.
curious about. Once we get into other stuff, is like,
Yeah.
I dropped off for my own reasons. I basically pushed into the Signal Noise crowd.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like there wasn't crossover between Soul Rehab, and I was there for the beginning of Soul Rehab too, and I'd have no idea how we didn't bump into each
Yeah, I'm
other.
kind of shocked by that too, honestly.
I
I
have
think
like
about
no
that a lot
idea.
with a lot of people.
But I was there,
Mhm.
so like I just was more Signal, and I have personal reasons I can tell you later off camera why
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
like not
Not fun.
out.
Yeah.
But basically I just see this really cool influx of badass fun creatives like Trip that you just mentioned, like Dorian, and I'm like, I didn't know who the fuck these people were until I started kind of coming around Juicebox and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be a little transparent. So the reason I avoided Juicebox was because I had an inherent fear of gay men. I'm not going to get too much into it because it's not my interview, but
Yeah.
like I had an inherent fear from shit that happened in my 20s with other gay men in those spaces
Yeah.
that I was like not able to engage for a very long time.
Totally
And
understandable.
once I jumped in and I was like, oh, like it's like more, I'm going to keep using the term queer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more queer.
That's
There's more,
the best term
yeah,
for it.
yeah,
And I'm a firm believer in like, you have to set the tone
hmm
early on and really invest in making sure everyone understands the assignment of a party in a space. And that includes things that just have to be and should be normal.
Yeah.
Like sharing the guidelines and expectations
Yeah.
consistently, talking about consent,
yeah,
talking about that this is not the gay guy party. There are women and femme folks and trans folks and GNC folks that are coming to this party. They
Yeah.
want to come and have fun too. This is for everybody, and it should be.
yeah,
Respecting your space, learning how to make friends and saying hello to people, and like maintaining this ethos that like a party can be self-sustaining as long as the foundation is set
Yeah.
early on, that this is what's expected.
It has to be.
You know?
And I'm sure you saw I posted in a story a couple weeks ago. There was like the shitty guy, I don't know, in England that was like these like social norms.
Oh, I did see this.
Yeah, are
And I
like,
looked into his
they're
Instagram.
like
He was
so
a shitbag.
preachy, like yeah. And I just wrote this take is dog shit.
Yeah.
But I was like,
That's someone that never had to worry about
anything
a
happening.
tactile mission
Yeah.
to get home alive and nightlife
Yeah.
in their whole life.
I'm like, this is literally just a white cis dude.
Yeah,
that's never
this
had to
is
think
a white
about
cis
why
straight
this would be
man
a
that's never
problem.
had a
But I was like, just
problem in his life.
logistically, like, if you bring a mess to a venue, the venue doesn't want you back.
No.
The venue doesn't want that level of liability, and there are great relationships with the venues. By the way, Water Street loves you guys.
Love Water Street. Water Street
Absolutely-
Music Hall.
Absolutely loves you.
Deb Jones, manager at Water
Yeah.
Street Music Hall, the whole team there, the bartenders, security, the staff, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. Photo City Music Hall, the staff there, they were also excellent. Like, you have to maintain these relationships with the places that you organize these parties, because it's just adult
Yeah.
and responsible to do, but also like it, it just gives good energy in return.
Yeah.
You know?
So, anyways, yeah, no, I fully agree with that, and that was definitely part of the ethos of Juicebox going forward.
Mhm.
So you start doing more juice boxes. They're getting more. I'm backing up here.
Yeah.
They're getting more successful, and you're getting more involvement.
Yeah.
So when did it? I don't want to say it wasn't queer from the onset, but like, how was that queer element sort of integrated more, especially with your DJs, and then also how did that drag element get involved? So like, I want to.
Yeah. As we went along, we had to like figure out, okay, obviously this is a party that we're all gay and we love a theme. So early on, we were like, every party should be something cool and different.
Yeah.
That adds to the flavor, changing it up all the time, and also the dynamic of bringing in other talent and not just DJs, but the concept of drag as well.
Yeah.
With like these different themes, there becomes, and this is one thing I love about Juicebox. It's for me, I'm such a big fan of local celebrities, like the local superstars of Western New York, Rochester.
Yeah.
Love an idea of placing them on a platform and letting
Yeah.
them do their thing and be a star. Like, and there's so much talent in Rochester, in Western New York. There's so many incredibly awesome DJs. It's insane. And I just love, for me, Juicebox was like, this is an opportunity to not just give folks a pedestal to be the star they deserve to be, but also like diversify the agenda, diversify the crowd, because people will want to come to see a DJ that
Yeah.
there's different circles, different
Yeah.
kind of
It
sects
matters.
of
If you
community.
book, a trans DJ, that matters.
It
That
matters and it shows
immediately
in the
it
scene.
immediately shows the inclusion, it
Hmm.
shows the representation, it shows the safety,
Yeah, your
you
party is
know.
better for
Yeah.
it too.
And it shows the value.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I do like how there is that performance element too
Yes.
with our drag queens and kings, that
Hmm.
that's going. And that's definitely, I don't want to say hand it off because it's been around, but
Yeah.
like it's definitely, it feels like an evolution from Tilt.
Yeah.
That like we're gonna have this at this time, like
Hmm.
show up to there, have your dollars,
Hmm.
and I really love that, and it always really goes
Definitely
down.
improved and propagated by like the popularity of RuPaul's Drag Race and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, and with drag, the approach for it with Juicebox was, there's a dynamic about it of why we were slow in the approach on purpose. The drag scene in Rochester is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's saturated with more talent there
Yeah.
as well. So many incredible drag
And
performers.
it's old.
Yeah,
It's been
old and
around. Yeah.
historic. We have the oldest drag pageant in the country, I
Yeah. Oh, I didn't
believe.
know that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that's
believe,
crazy.
correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
Queens. I believe the Miss Gay Rochester pageant is
Yeah.
one of the oldest, if not the oldest, drag pageant in the
I
country.
believe it.
We have Kasha
Yeah.
Davis, Darian Lake, Pandora
Beyond
Box.
like specifically drag, we also have
Yeah.
like ballroom, and we have like
Hmm.
houses here.
And many houses too.
Like
Yeah. The scene
yeah.
is great. And because of that, we have, a place like Tilt that turned into now Roar nightclub, huge drag nightclub with a big focus on drag there. Um, we also were sharing the complex with Roar for
Okay.
a few
I
years.
didn't know that. Yeah.
Photo City is right next to and in the same kind of building complex as Roar. So we, this is the part where I said I'm gonna start talking shit.
Talk shit. Yeah.
When Juicebox first started, I am aware, and Max and Tom are aware of that. The vibe was certainly like other queer nightlife establishments were like, "What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this exist?
Mm-hmm.
What is this party?" And I've heard the shit talking behind closed doors
Yeah.
about our party, and I don't blame anyone that owns a queer business that's nightlife. That's like, this fucking pop up exists now. Like, what is this doing?
Yeah.
Taking away my dollars, taking away my business, my economy. And so because of that, there was a prickliness about the idea of bringing drag into Juicebox. We wanted to do it very early on. We didn't want to step on toes.
Yeah.
We didn't want to be like, oh, we're doing this thing now too. And we wanted to be respectful about that. And
Yeah.
we were for many years until we decided a few years down the line. I think our first drag performer was Fauna.
Wow.
Fauna.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fauna. Shout out
Mhm.
Fauna. Fauna's like literally, she's like the it girl Rochester. Like, she's an incredible drag performer.
Isn't
She's
there
an
like a
incredible
saying
artist.
like the prettiest girl in Rochester?
Yeah, she's the only girl in
Or the only
Rochester.
girl, some shit.
According to
Yeah.
Chintz McMahon,
Yeah.
the only girl in Rochester. And you can see Fauna
Yeah.
every month at Plot Twist, at Bar Bad Ending.
Yeah.
I
Shout out
working
to
with
that.
her. She
Alternative
also,
drag, it's always good.
truly, she's
It's
an alternative
always
queen.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's always fucking fun and
Yeah.
just fashion forward and just cunty and gorgeous.
Mhm.
And also a sweetheart. Love
Mhm.
Fauna as a person too. And we decided to book her because I think in our minds, she was like not like a Roar staple,
Yeah.
but popular.
Yeah.
It girl vibes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
will add some oomph to the night. And it was for Halloween. Halloween is one of our biggest party. Obviously, this party is like people dress up all the
yeah.
time for our themes for Juice Box. So
It's so
Halloween
fun.
was a major. It was going to be the moment, and so we booked her for that. And from there, we were like, cool. So we do these midnight drag performances where it's like no mic work, just the music blends into their track, and the light comes on, and they're performing. And it's very much like big city drag energy where like there's no like mic work. It's just suddenly there's a
Yeah.
performer. I love that as a concept, and we could just maintain that since then generally.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, let's like add other queens and slowly integrating it semi regularly into every party,
Yeah.
one drag midnight performance. And then started, I think the first roar bass queen we booked was Kyla Minx
Mm-hmm.
for our party, disco party, which was Studio 585. I think it was that one. Um, and from there, we noticed that no bad vibes, no weird energy.
Yeah.
Dare I say, it maybe helped also Queens being allowed to book other places,
Mm-hmm.
being allowed to be booked at another party at another venue that wasn't just
Yeah.
the drag club. People should like be doing drag
Yeah.
everywhere. It should be
Like any performer, you
yeah, yeah,
should,
yeah.
unless,
Or at least helped improve that as
yeah,
a
I mean, if you have
concept.
a residency, then like that residency should be able to carry you.
Hmm.
It should be able to carry you financially or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, I love that. I think that's super cool.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm trying to in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Okay, so we have that going on.
Hmm.
At what point were you and the Juicebox team like, okay, we want to take this out to the world? We're gonna go to the beach or the park or whatever. So we have another party called Rendezvous,
Yeah.
which is like an offshoot, and it's not really in a club. It's like out and about, and it's more, I guess, let's say relaxed. It's
Yeah.
more of a hangout.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So like when did that happen, and like kind of what was the idea behind that?
Very early on, the idea of doing something like that, Max and I talked back and forth all the time of wanting to do like a beach party. Like the concept of being gay on a beach is so much fun.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't want to like hang out on a beach? I know some people that don't like
Yeah.
the beach, but like being out in the water and hanging out with your
Guns
friends.
out, buns out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we talked about it for a while, and as we continued building on Juicebox, the it seemed timely to create something on the other side of the coin, which was more like less of a pressure of nightlife focus, less of a pressure on like alcohol and substances, less of a pressure of like being, ticketed events and, you know, dark energy, loud music,
Yeah, yeah,
something more like free
yeah.
and outside and less of a pressure with those nightlife things going on. That was in our minds like this is the yin to the yang from Juicebox, this idea. And we thought up of the name. It took a while. I think we maybe a year or so after we started Juicebox is when we did our first rendezvous. Um, the logo is designed by Jacob Marsh. He's
Okay.
from Buffalo. Shout out Jacob Marsh. Excellent. Love the logo so much in the font. And very quickly on, immediately we were like, oh, this is something people have been needing.
Yeah.
Free outside, not nightlife based. You can bring whatever you want. You can cook on a grill and also have fully curated music as
Yeah.
well. Tom DeBlaze would offer his speakers for us to use from Soul Rehab, and we would just do a lineup in the way that we would be like not necessarily making people dance. They can if they
Yeah.
want. It's about creating like what would you play if you were on the beach outside?
Yeah.
Something atmospheric. People DJs have come in and played so many different types of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's a magnet
It's
every
so
time we
it's
throw it.
so fun. It's so fun. The
Yeah.
last one was so good.
Mhm.
And I would say, I mean, not that I've been to like a ton of the rendezvous so far, but like the last one was edgy.
Pretty slay.
Like those sets were edgy. So like
Everyone
yeah, it
everyone
was
gave
very
like kind of
cool.
like euphoric,
Yeah.
trancy, like
Yeah.
yeah, our lineup, Maxi was on opening
Yeah.
duties, excellent curation. His first track was from the Stardew Valley soundtrack, which I
Yeah.
love. After that was Anthony Barton. I forget
Mhm.
his DJ name, but that was his first time
I know, it was
DJing
so
and it was
good. It
so
was so
good
good.
too.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
Scarlet Fire from Yeah, the Psychic Garden, Transcendence Crowd.
Hmm.
Um,
Former IP guest.
yes, from yes. Scarlet Fire did this
Yeah.
phenomenal, euphoric,
It was
trancy.
so good.
Yeah,
The
and
Hallison track or
hmm
whatever. Am I saying that right? It's
so
so
good.
good. I was like,
And
yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Abrams,
Yeah.
Tim Adams, closing
Hmm.
out,
Tim Tom.
gorgeous, and
Like you're
Tom
saying.
closing it out on the sunset. Uh, and we do
Dirty
this
Wi-Fi.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
fuck
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Dirty Wi-Fi. Thank you. We had
Yeah.
five in the
Other
lineup.
former guest,
Dirty
yeah.
Wi-Fi, the underground
Mm-hmm.
selector of Buffalo. She's
Yeah.
fucking dope. Love Bree Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came all the way in from Buffalo to
Mm-hmm.
play with us, and that happens now. A lot of folks come from
Yeah.
Buffalo for rendezvous.
I want to talk about the Buffalo connection in
Yeah,
a
oh yeah,
second.
we'll get
Yeah.
on there.
Because
Buffchester.
we're getting there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
so so you have this integration with once again, more of a queer vibe,
Hmm.
having that really cool ethos. Now we've moved on to like we're offshooting to parks and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So now, the integration between the Buffalo and Rochester scenes. How did that happen? Not saying it wasn't happening, and I want to say Soul and Signal had a very big part in that.
definitely.
The Soul and Signal like kind of underground resurgence in Rochester was big for like we had people traveling from
People,
other cities to come
yeah.
here for those parties, but definitely Buffalo like pushing in. So how did that happen for Juicebox as well?
Well, I think in the mind of
Yeah.
just like, and to preface, like Signal and Soul brought good house and techno to
Hmm.
Rochester. Like it really wasn't a thing here
It
until
wasn't. It
that.
took a bit. It was
Like
there before, from what
the
I've
taste
heard.
wasn't there.
Yeah, like there
Yeah,
was some
some little
underground stuff
things.
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. But like with the juice box, as the popularity of it rised, it obviously like was growing some attention. And I guess there's always been this, um, you know, we had Soul Rehab in Rochester, and then we also have Buddy Buddy in Buffalo. Buddy Buddy is the other underground
Yeah.
queer dance party that goes
Yeah.
on in Western New York. Another big one organized by Brandon Davis and Patrick Finan over in Buffalo. It's, you know, it would be a pilgrimage for a lot of Rochester girlies. We'd all go
Hmm.
all the time. Excellent DJs that would book nationally and internationally acclaimed DJs. And there was already this kind of like vibe of like we always joke about a monorail should be existing between Buffalo and
It
Rochester.
make things easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that the way that was already happening with that energy, it wasn't very hard for this connection to go even deeper with the DJs, the drag scene, and the nightlife scene in Buffalo very quickly early on. Which is really, it just happened very naturally. Like
Yeah.
there's silly people just like us in Buffalo,
Yeah. And
moving and
there's great.
shaking,
Yeah. There's
organizing things
great.
there.
There's great. Sort of. I don't want to say the same, but there's very similar vibes where there's other um maybe more popular mainstream
Hmm.
parties, but it's kind of like edgy. Like
Yeah,
is Slater mainstream? I don't I don't
I think
think
she
so.
is
Like
now,
she is a
but is
season
mainstream a
not.
bad thing though?
No, I'm
You know?
just saying like I don't know what the term is anymore, but
Yeah,
like
sure.
definitely more visible
Yeah.
now when it comes to stuff. But there's other parties and stuff popping up there.
Hmm.
And I think that's where I actually I have this little button I'm gonna press and hopefully it works. We're gonna pull up the flyer. Let's see
Uh-huh.
if this works. One of these is the flyer. There it is. There's the
Oh, it popped
flyer.
up. Yeah. Oh, there's our
So here's
flyer.
the flyer for the party, and then I'm gonna go on here so I can actually see it
Yeah.
on here. Um, so we have this crazy lineup for Friday.
Probably one of my favorites we've
Yeah,
ever done for Juice Box.
and it just is it's really cool. What's really cool is I've photographed the majority of these people too. It just like happened. So we have DJ North Star, you, Maxi, Dirty Wi-Fi, Dorian Gray, and Elliot Pitt, which is really cool as you mentioned Dorian and
Bringing the whole trifecta
yeah.
back. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, as for the 5-year anniversary, we're having like this fusion between the cities and then like beloved people. Like I can't understate how beloved like their people are to them and our
Mhm.
people are to us, and obviously there's that fusion there.
The love is real, and
Yeah.
it's like the fusion has gotten really deep.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
now we kind of have this integration in the scene. And then on top of that, we also have our Buffalo Queens coming too.
Hmm.
So we have Clairvoyant, and I don't know.
Ruby George.
Yeah, I don't think I might have met Ruby George.
Season 1 Buffalo's Drag Race winner, Ruby George.
I see, but I'm a bad drag gay. I've said this before. I don't know. So yeah, so really amazing.
Yeah, Clairvoyant organizes Girly Pop in
Yeah,
Buffalo, also a DJ as
yeah.
well. And
Um,
then we have Plot Twist as
yeah.
well.
So Plot Twist is be the alternative drag we talked about with
Alternate
Fauna, and
Rochester's alt drag show.
they've done, have they done every juice box or most of them? They do a lot of
They
them.
they have done they collectively, I would say that they do. Plot Twist comes in and does the big parties
Yeah.
like New Queer's Eve and Pride. Since like last year, generally. Yeah, Fauna, Exalvador
Yeah.
Sarno, Jinx McMahon. Um, I'm just gonna shout out a couple of the DJs. North Star, the pop princess of Buffalo and
Mm-hmm.
techno diva. She's incredible. I've been trying to book North Star for years, and her schedule is
I
crazy.
believe
She's
it.
never available, so we finally got her this time, and I'm so excited to have her because she is just the vibe for Juicebox,
Yeah.
100%.
No, I
Yeah,
felt honored. I photographed the girly pop over there. At, is it Nietzsche's?
at Nietzsche's in Buffalo. Yeah,
Nietzsche's,
yeah,
yeah.
hmm,
And so that was like the first time I got to meet her.
yeah.
And also some other
And
people
then Dirty
there.
Wi-Fi on the other side.
Yeah.
I love the idea of having. There's obviously, if you know these DJs and where
Mm-hmm.
everyone's located, you can get a sense of like it's two different kind of vibes
Yeah, so I
for
was thinking
Pride.
that too. Yep.
Yeah, Dirty Wi-Fi loves that deep, dirty, the underground selections, hard to find
Mm-hmm.
edits and cuts.
Yeah.
She plays fast, she plays
Kind of like
slow, she
Ghetto
goes everywhere.
Tech, yeah,
Yeah,
Detroit,
and
yeah, Dirty Detroit, yeah.
yeah, and Dorian and Elliot both
Mm-hmm.
collectively, girlies of the underground, and they
Mm-hmm.
are experimental artists. They're artists, truly,
Yeah.
when it
So
comes to
I
the
immediately
decks.
noticed that. And for context, if you haven't been to these parties or maybe, whatever, you've only been to some where there's one side. At Water Street, there are two sides now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the hall side and there's the club side. It's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. The party's gotten big enough to fill up both. It's
Yep.
not an exaggeration. When these parties go down, I always mix them up because the club side I feel like should be the hall side, but it's not.
Yeah,
They both get packed the fuck out.
they
But like
do.
the way this has been curated, if you're like, I want like more of that, like, underground sound, but if I want more of the poppy sound, go to one
You go
side
the
or
other side,
whatever.
yeah, with
Yeah,
us.
and
Yeah.
it's really fun because you get to see people go in between. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to photograph that.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
it's
crazy.
gonna
I'm
be
gonna have to. I'm gonna
insane.
get my steps in, but it's gonna be good. And then having the two drag shows too. So
Mhm.
definitely that's going on for Friday. I do want to touch on your residencies
Yeah,
a bit, or just like how that's going, how that came about.
yeah.
Um, and then I have a little sort of special surprise for you, and then we can kind of wrap up with probably some other little
Okay,
tidbits and things.
sure, absolutely.
So, as far as I know, you have two residencies that aren't like parties. So like a residency, to explain to people, is kind of like where a venue or a club purposely has the same DJ stay on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of reasons for this, but one of them is just that people kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
It for the DJ, it definitely forces them to like hone their skills to come in every single time and kind of give
It's different.
you're figuring
Playing a
yourself out.
party and
Yeah,
playing a bar
yeah,
regularly or a club is two
yes,
totally different beasts.
yeah. And
Totally.
you have, so as far as I know, you have Night Bloom here in Rochester at Flora, and I've touched on Flora before in here, but Flora is like our kind of more newly opened queer bar, also run by Tom DeBlaze. And Tom DeBlaze's dream was to have a bar that had a DJ component, which
Mm-hmm.
is really awesome. And if you want to watch the previous IP on that, we talk a little bit about that. So you have that every Friday, and kind of having that sort of pop forward sound. And then at 26 Allen, which I don't know much about 26, I've only been there once.
Yeah.
It's a fucking vibe.
It
It
is.
is a
It
vibe.
is.
It's awesome.
Buffalo is a 4 a.m.
Yeah.
town.
So you have is it Sister Support? Am I saying that
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, tell me about both
I'll
of
tell you about both
those.
of them.
Maybe where
Yeah.
the names came from,
Yeah.
maybe like how they differ or the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Get into it, yeah.
Yeah. So to backtrack, we'll start with Flora first. So
Yeah.
Flora, the new queer dance bar owned by Tom DeBlaze, located on 190 Monroe Avenue. This is a space that Tom approached me and has specifically was like, I want you to be the resident DJ here.
Mhm.
I want you to have a night where you just do your thing. Um, and so that has been the name I decided on, which is Night Bloom, playing off of Flora's concepts of flowers, the kind of like gay community shit sense, florals and whatnot. And it is very much so, it's 6 or 7 months into it at this point. It is every Friday. And it has been, it's residencies are hard,
Mm-hmm.
first of all.
Yeah.
Weekly residencies are hard. And but it's been such a wonderful playground, literally, for me to literally play whatever I want,
Yeah.
whatever I'm feeling. Um, you know, building up a space, the goal of a residency is not necessarily just to be a DJ and play music. It's about building trust with the community, creating a space for folks to come in and they trust your vision and your taste and can, trust you to carry a night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like building on that takes a lot of time. It's
Yeah.
been an honor to do that with Flora and to be representative, the sound to be representative of that space.
Yeah.
Um, Sister Support, 26 Allen. 26 Allen is the address of the venue. It's on Allen Street in Buffalo. This is the one big, cool, fun, crazy, queer dance
Mm-hmm.
bar in
But
Buffalo.
it's
It's
cool.
really
Like the
cool.
design on it is
Yeah.
so
One of
cool.
the owners,
Yeah,
shout
it's
out
so
Amanda
dope.
Gensler.
Yeah.
The design inside is chaotic, vibrant, beautiful, colorful. 26 Allen has been open for a bit and kind of one of the newer bars in Buffalo. And I received this residency it's been a year now. Prior to that, this residency and that night, which is every third Saturday of the month, belonged to my friend Jordan Salato, aka DJ
Mhm.
Nunu. He was organizing an event called Disco Milk,
Yeah.
which was a disco focused dance party. Jordan and I were very good friends. We'd collaborated often, we DJed together often, we played a lot of parties together, um, played Disco Milk together many times. Love him very much.
Yeah.
And him and his partner, Mickey Harmon, are no longer with us. It's been a little over a year. Mickey Harmon, I also want to give a huge shout out. We talk about the Buffchester vibes. We talk about the connection of Buffalo and Rochester.
Yeah.
The glue that really, the foundation of that was, I think, truly Mickey Harmon, who was an artist in Buffalo. Um, the most insane person you'll ever know.
Yeah.
And just, he was a staunch believer in just like maintaining those ties between cities, amplifying the queer communities in these places, giving folks an opportunity and a platform to be creative
Yeah.
and elevated. And he was really he started he started this trend. And I think really after Jordan's passing, there was this resurgence of this connection to become much deeper in Buffalo and
Yeah.
Rochester.
Yeah.
I find a lot of the friendships I've created with the girlies in Buffalo is from after, the the butterfly effect of their passing. And I love them both. I miss them both so much.
Yeah.
I could go on forever about Mickey and Jordan. uh, Amanda, one of the owners of 26, approached me and she said, you know, I want to give you Jordan's residency night.
Mm.
I want you to have the honor
See,
to.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Jordan's prior, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Amanda was like, I would like you to have this,
That's amazing.
and so the name Sister Support is coined from a term that Mickey had for this, us as queer friends, as sisters. We go to each other's events, we go to each other's DJ gigs, the
Yeah.
functions, the parties,
They're sister
and
cities.
yeah, and we go
Yeah.
support it. We
Yeah.
go support, we provide the energy, the vibes. Mickey and Jordan have both done that multiple times for Juice Box,
Yeah.
and for Soul Rehab, of course. And so that was like, this is the name that this is going to be. I love it because it's like I got that residency before I got a residency in Rochester, New York, like,
Yeah.
which is crazy, but I love it. And I just take the train once a month.
Yeah.
And the Buffalo folks love to.
They love
They
you.
love. Yeah,
They love you.
I love them.
I always see this. I mean, there's people are in and out, but I just definitely see. You have like fans, that are
Oh
like
yeah,
coming up to you
yeah.
and stuff.
The
So
cult, the cult is strong through
that's
Buffalo.
amazing. Well, yeah, I do really love that you kind of drew the connection with Mickey and Jordan. I didn't know them personally.
Yeah.
I met Mickey once, And the most exposure I had to Mickey was that we were both dressed as the Joker, and we were like having so much fun with that.
Yes.
And I think like
It was
I'm like
Halloween.
we would have I think we would have like really vibed. Like we would have fucking vibed. We both like art. I really like illustrations. So like I'm I don't think I have very good boundaries, and that kind of like helps with interviewing and stuff. But I would just send like cool ass like posts and reels of gay erotica. I'm really into gay erotica. I'm not even gonna.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mickey Harmon's your
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
His,
So and we would.
his
He
erotic
was
art,
so
so much
kind
of
and would
it.
always respond and be like, "Oh, I fucking love this," or "Yeah, I love that artist," or whatever. Like I'd be talking about my Japanese shit.
Yeah.
Like really whatever. And so yeah,
He
yeah.
really knew who he was, and he was really good at approaching other people to let them
Hmm.
know it was okay to be themselves in return.
Yeah.
And could have a conversation with anyone.
I think yeah,
He
and
was
I think
excellent like that.
that definitely um there's a chance that we'll feel that legacy on Friday
Yeah.
and Saturday too,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
definitely like anytime I moving forward with DJing, every time I'm always like, what am I gonna do today that would make Mickey Harmon proud and make Jordan Salata proud? Like, what are the things, how can I approach queer existence,
Yeah.
organizing things in a way that would be amplified like how they would, I
Yeah.
guess. So,
Well, okay. So I want to shift gears here because
okay.
I do want to get to sort of I've kind of grouped this in my brain into things with
Hmm.
like juice box and that approach to your career. I'm gonna shift to more of the. I'm not saying that juice box isn't
No,
underground
yeah,
because
yeah.
it still is a grassroots thing, but
Hmm.
to the what we consider like a more underground sound.
Hmm.
Before we do that, I do have a little present for you.
Okay.
So, all right, it's gonna be really corny. You got to close your eyes like in your
Okay.
birthday or whatever. So I got this. I'm glad I got the right one. Cause oh shit, it's kind of wrinkled, but whatever. All right, you can open your eyes.
Oh my god.
So I saw you had posted that you got the
Wow.
regular
Yeah.
deluxe. So just hold it up for the camera. It is well now a wrinkled fucking there you go. Yep.
Can you see
Confessions 2.
on vinyl the grinder
It's the
edition?
grinder
The grinder
edition. Yeah, I was like, I
edition.
don't know what makes it
Yeah.
grinder besides having the thing on it.
Wow. This
Um
is sick.
it's the one you definitely need to put on the wall.
Yes.
So now that you
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because now I have two. I have
Yeah.
the other
And I have really
it's
cool frames I
gorgeous.
can recommend because I'm
Yeah.
into it. Just hang on to it, yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, no, I definitely immediately wanted to get that for you.
She's one of my gals.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, she's just like there's something about, gay guys and Madonna, what a concept. Groundbreaking, right? But like from growing up for me, like my first exposure to her was bedtime stories, and specifically the music video.
I played that song last
Yeah, the
night.
music video
I was
that
like, I forgot I had this.
yeah, that remix is excellent. Is that one of the junior remixes?
No, it's a weird one I found. I'll
Okay.
find it.
Yeah,
It's on
yeah.
my Bandcamp.
And like
Yeah.
then after that was, Ray
It's
of.
more trippy than the one
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely trippy. I like
Mm-hmm.
that. And just like she was like growing up, she's one of those people that like I grew up and my parents didn't walk around talking about her or listening
Mm-hmm.
to her. But like Jesus or Elvis, I kind of just was like, I know who this person is, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like as a kid. But I knew the connections and the correlations of provocativeness, femininity,
Yeah.
sex, and music. Uh, this person exists in
I
that
think for
context.
me, I
And
don't want to take too much from this, but I think
yeah.
it was the fact that she did that like video with the cross or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, like a prayer.
People were like really offended.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, or whatever. And so even as a kid, I was like, ooh, this is like
Society
yeah.
finds a lot of fun making and
Like
being
this
offended by
like this is a
women.
person who is like kind of
Yeah.
controversial.
Society likes to be
Yeah.
offended by women, and
Yeah.
she is down to offend to open everyone's eyes.
Oh yeah.
And she like I just have always been so enamored by she's a woman who like she just embodies confidence and she embodies power and so many of these dynamics about her that I'm so like enamored by. And then also a lot of her music is really fucking fun and
Yeah.
like a vibe. Confessions on a Dance Floor
Mm.
was like so important to me and pivotal as a DJ, being interested in DJing, but also the ideas of listening to music production.
Yeah.
Listening to that album and being like how that sound how that the sound of that album
Yeah. And
And
everybody does it.
yeah,
Like once Madonna's done a sound, everybody does it
everyone's kind of like
for
doing
like
it.
the next 10 years, and then
Yeah.
she's like, okay, I'm doing something
Yeah,
else.
kind of
Yeah.
like she always is kind of like ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
This latest one, excellent. I love it. I think it's really fucking cool. It's very progressive. Elements of Chicago house and acid in it.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like the Afters album to the first one. And it's like just I'm proud of her. It's
Do
cool.
you have, and this is part of why I wanted it,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite track,
Oh
song, whatever
gosh,
we're
let me see.
calling
The list of them
these?
are right
Or
here.
just like one that really like kind of stands out to you or resonates with you?
So the song of the summer the for the gay community is, I'm pretty sure, going to be Danceteria.
Okay.
People are loving that track. It is a fun one. It's got that disco-y groove to it, and it talks about her days in Danceteria in the 80s and whatnot. And
Yeah.
she's like doing her Vogue rap on it and
It
all
was a
that.
cool, it was a cool like club, if I
Yeah,
remember
very
right.
very
Yeah.
fun one. I do like One Step Away is beautiful. Um, Love Without Words is beautiful. Bizarre blew my mind. My Sins Are My Savior with Stromae.
Hmm.
It samples I think it's Army of Lovers. It's a Swedish track from the 90s. Um, that one's cool because it's like, oh, we're breaking it down.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and like I like the title track. The title track is like the synths going in and then the boom,
Oh, it's so good.
boom. It's
Yeah.
like
It
entering a club
it's
and it's
dreamy. It has a
dreamy.
little bit of a trippy vibe.
Yeah.
And then
I'm getting
this,
goosebumps listen like think about it. Like it's
yeah,
just like
this
the
whole album is her like being at a peace place too.
yeah.
That's very clear
Yeah,
that it's
and
about
very
her. Yeah.
personal. Like I was not, I mean, I knowing Madonna, knowing her over the years, she always has these moments where she's singing about like personal stuff. She really dug in. Like one of the tracks, Fragile, is about her brother who passed away last year or a couple
Okay.
years ago. Did not have a good relationship after he did an autobiography about her that
Mm,
released in 2008.
mm,
They did not get along,
mm.
and that song was her. I guess just have them rectifying.
Yeah.
The other track is with her daughter, Lola Leon. Um, which one was it? It's not on here. Oh, there's another track at the end
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is with her daughter.
They
Um,
might have cut this shorter just
yeah,
for
maybe
the
they had
record.
to fit the grinder pings on
Yeah.
it, so they had to remove
I
the.
don't understand. Yeah. I
Broop.
don't even. It just looks like a picture to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool fucking album. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And I like when people are like, don't like it because it's Madonna, maybe. Because she's like, I don't know. There's so much misogyny and ageism around
Hmm.
her in such a capacity that it's so boring and I'm like so
Yeah.
over it. Just like get your fucking flowers now, Madonna.
No, she's
Absolutely.
great. I have nothing against her. I do
Yeah.
know like I'm not gonna say I've been like a huge Madonna fan or even like a huge pop fan, but for me, this is kind of hitting a little bit like Brat, where there's a big, once again, the underground sound fusion in it,
Yeah.
and I love it. I really do. I love the title track a lot.
Yeah.
Um, I like Good for the Soul.
Hmm. That
Um,
one's beautiful too.
it's
Yeah.
very like melodic house, and I
And
love
there's
it.
the
Yeah.
breaky moments and the strings in it too that
Mm-hmm.
come out of nowhere in the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. This is much like to me like Renaissance by Beyonce, Brat like
Yep.
Charlie. There are it's not tracks I like. It's there's things are sectioned up for me
Yeah.
and there's parts that I'm like, "Oh, this part is so interesting and cool and this
Yeah.
part too." Those three albums to me, I feel like they all have kind of the same energy. There's something about them the way that they are so dynamic in sound, and all from different approaches of different genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
No, it's
cool.
really cool. So that's yours. Put on the wall
Hell yeah.
or
Thank you. That's
wherever. I
such a
don't know.
cool gift.
Yeah, I was like, what should I get them? Okay, so we're gonna switch gears.
Yes.
Oh, we got a comment from our friend Cherry Midnight. Also
Sherry Midnight, shout
loves
out Rosa.
Danceteria. Yeah,
Sherry Midnight. Danceteria, hell yeah.
yeah.
It's such a good I have a feeling it's gonna be a number one dance record and it'll probably be the next single. It's just got good fucking
There's
energy.
already like remixes and stuff coming out too,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool.
Oh,
So
I
I'm just gonna
have.
remix
I've been
like
grabbing them.
crazy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that Peggy Go one. All right.
Oh, the I Feel So Free remix. Yeah, that one's
Yeah, it's
great.
like
Love the Peggy Go
disco-y. It's
remix
like
of
fun.
that. So
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so you obviously had a connection to the underground sound. Mentioning the parties and stuff. At what point were you like, I kind of want to start pushing into doing the more underground sound. It still has your flair. It very
Yeah.
much has, I don't want to say brightness per se, but like it has a, it has like referential stuff to poppy stuff.
Yeah.
It can be fun, but you're also pushing into harder sounds, and I've heard that. You did Soul Rehab, which is great.
Twice.
Open for Leonce, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
The 10-year anniversary with Tom. And we
Okay.
opened for Clarissa Kimsky.
Okay, so yeah, that was on your bio, so I missed that. And then you also did like a back to back, and also going back to the Project Frisson at the Superfund space for, was that specifically for body
Mm-hmm.
language?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep. That was with
Yeah.
Tom.
That was like on your
Um,
birthday, right?
that was my birthday.
That's
That was
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, because you had like your cake and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then also we've done Frisson together at Jellyfish
Okay.
in
Yeah, that
Pittsburgh.
just
Just
happened.
happened in May.
So, and
Yeah.
Jellyfish is a really cool party down there.
Shout out Jellyfish, Formosa,
Yeah.
Ricky down in Pittsburgh. Awesome party. Y'all gotta go if please, if you can.
Yeah,
And
I really
that's
want
my
to
second time
go.
playing Jellyfish too.
Yeah.
So
I'll do my shit talking. Please invite me to things. Like I need to
yeah.
carpool. I need to carpool.
Okay. I'll keep that in
My
mind.
little electric car can't make it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Totally.
I want to go for weekends here and there, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have my weekends. So I will go
Mhm.
because I see all these,
I foresee other like out of town, other state parties happening
yeah.
lineups for me in the future. So I
Yeah.
will keep that in mind.
I want to go, and I miss like that, like let's sleep on the couch and
Hmm.
like kind of, I don't know, pass out. Like I really miss that vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been pushing into these sounds.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those sounds and maybe like what excites you,
Yeah. Can I talk
and
about the
then
process into that sound though
yeah,
too?
yeah,
Yeah.
go right there.
Amazing. I think like so this is the interesting thing about Juicebox and that was my kind of re-debut to DJing.
Hmm.
Juicebox, that sound, that concept of pop focus. And so that was my bread and butter because it is. And maintained that for a few years now. We're 5 years into it now. But by the second or third year, I mean, to preface, getting back into DJing, I can't talk enough highly about both Elliot Pitt and Dorian Gay, who were the first DJs to play Juicebox with me, and also very good friends of mine, and how they both really pushed me to push my own envelope,
Okay.
expand my own sound, play with the BPM more, play with genres because they can just blend.
Yeah.
They both are really fucking creative DJs, and they really like helped me be like, I can expand this. I can find my own sound and I can do more than just pop. And that's not just to say that pop is like, oh, this is what it is thing.
Yeah.
It's that there's I have a love and appreciation for it, but I also want to do more and should.
Yeah.
And they really fucking helped me like find that inspiration and that energy. And so by the third year of Juicebox, I frankly had like an identity crisis sometimes with the party. If you go back, and I'm gonna be sharing throughout this week, all my different sets that are recorded for Juicebox.
Oh, that's awesome.
You hear a couple moments by the third year or the fourth year that is a little bit more underground than you'd anticipate
Hmm.
for this party that should be very pop focused. I had some, I was going through it where I was like, I want to do other types of sound and play them at my party, and I would. And definitely sometimes I would get some pushback from like the crowd or from after the fact. People would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, like this, like I miss when you do more pop stuff."
Hmm.
Um, and it really fucked with me.
Yeah.
It really bothered me because I was like, I want to be an artist and creative and do other things and expand that. But I also had to acknowledge that like yeah, you can play whatever you want at parties,
Hmm.
I guess. But there is a foundation of Juicebox, which is a specific type of sound,
Yeah.
and that's the place for that. And I just needed to find other ways to expand that in other
Yeah,
capacities.
there's something to be said about a party's identity and
Yes.
what people are like kind of going in and rolling in
Hmm.
for.
Like
So,
I really like to respect the idea of that with a lot of different parties and sounds.
yeah.
I love like sticking to that, I guess. So I I think really what I did is I went out on a limb last year and I told Tom DeBlaze, I want to play Soul Rehab.
Hmm.
I want to play Pride. and I want to showcase this other sound that I am working on, that I this
Yeah.
my love for this more underground kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And you know, uh, my good friend and my expat Sandora always says you have to ask for the things that you want. And so I took that advice and I did exactly that. And I was like, I want to do
Yeah.
this thing. And Tom was down. And it really is exposure therapy for everybody when you play a completely different thing and
Mm-hmm.
everyone that has this idea of you in their head is like, oh, like that was cool, or
Yeah.
that was different,
Yeah.
or that was like you can do a lot of other stuff. And from there it expanded into other things like recording stuff for like Circleback, which is the event that I organize alongside with like Ethan Beckwith Cohen, EBC. More like not about just dancing, it's more like atmospheric,
Mm-hmm.
vibey kind of stuff. And um, pivoting back to Tom, playing parties together, this idea of frisson or frisson is an opportunity for me to continue expanding this other dynamic and other sound beyond the scope of popular music, um, and just leaning into it. And frisson, correct me if I'm wrong, it is a French term. It's the feeling you get when you get goosebumps listening to
I was gonna say,
music.
correct me if I'm wrong, because
Yeah.
I thought it was that too, but I was like, I don't know.
I think it is. I
I
think
thought,
it's where you get like
yeah, yeah,
goosebumps from when you're listening to music and like to get that rush. That's what that is. And we thought of that name because it's uh pertains to a lot of the music that we like.
yeah,
That like we're there's a lot of like this kind of trance focus with
yeah,
both of us, and more like kind of the euphoric kind of techno vibes.
yeah.
That's the stuff that we're doing when we do that together, and
It
what
sounds
we
it
like to
sounds
play.
really cool, and then it's cool too because um, one thing that I really respect about Tom that you've mentioned is with Juicebox, Tom basically took on a mentorship role, like a behind the scenes in a mentorship role, and that basically has allowed you to do your thing.
Hmm.
And I could see you already taking probably a mentorship role. I mean, we have new people, like you
Yeah,
mentioned, that are like, oh, I want to
I
start
have many
DJing
DJ
now.
children.
Yeah, so I think that's really cool. But now, um, in my opinion, you both are, I don't know, DJ
DJ dads,
DJ dads, but
kind of.
also
Yeah.
equals on the deck. Like
Mhm.
you're able to back to backing is hard as fuck. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's a hard process, and you really need to have somebody who sort of vibes with you and adjusts to you, and so
And you have to be willing
yeah,
to adjust and willing to like kind of
yes,
bend and
yes.
flex.
So
Yeah.
you have this friendship, but then you also get to do that on the decks too. So I think that's
Yeah.
super fucking cool. So is there something there that you could talk about, like just how there's got to be a kind of a really cool implicit trust going on there, and
Yeah,
just what's going on the decks when you both play.
absolutely. I think like the foundation for that started years ago, as I mentioned, when I would go out to Soul Rehab and Tom and I would just have these little yap sessions about music that we loved all the time. That started as the foundation of like him understanding my tastes and then growing that over time as a DJ, growing as a DJ, expanding my sound, and eventually it's this essence of like I can trust you to follow or continue the lead that I'm on
Yeah.
as the focus of this sound that he curates, which is very specifically house and techno
Mm-hmm.
breaks and whatnot. So it had to be built early, very early on, and you know, yeah, I guess a big part of it was just me kind of being like a diva and being like, I'm just don't want to be stuck doing the one thing. I want to be able to do more and prove that I can do more. And
Yeah.
that co-aligned with this want for us to play together. And Tom really likes playing with me. I like playing with him. We just mesh. We just get the little nuances of the things that we enjoy in music. Um, and it's been really cool just doing that together.
Did you start like just kind of jamming out at home? Like how did that happen? Like kind of
Jamming
like
out at his house at Purple Palace, we would
okay.
like, and especially like with body language, that was the first time that we did this project and DJ'd together. So we did like a handful of like sessions together. he was like, you put together some crates of different energies, I'll do the same.
Yeah.
And we'll see how things just blend together. And yeah, there was some really fucking magical moments on those sessions where we were like, okay, we have like an
So
understanding of a
cool.
sound that like matches, and we're gonna just continue expanding on
And it can be
that.
hard to find that person, but it's cool that that person was
Yeah.
kind of like there the whole time.
Yeah, and it does feel
Yeah.
it feels weird because like growing up, like growing alongside Tom has also been the father figure to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of crazy now that I do sometimes feel like, oh, we're both like I'm like on this level with him,
Mm-hmm.
and people approach me and with um seeking wisdom or asks or help or connections, and like in the way that they do with him now. And I'm like honored to be even considered in that kind of capacity,
Yeah.
because the work that Tom has done in this city, in this community, the way he has done so much for queer Rochester, it's like I could write like books about it,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, it's
So
amazing. So I guess my question,
mhm.
and I every once in a while I'll do a little bit of a hard question.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
last time with Hannah, I really
Ask away.
kind of challenged her on like how focused should a party be.
Hmm.
For you, do you kind of see yourself moving more into the underground space and maybe away from pop music? Do you sort of see a trajectory changing or there being even a shift overall in your sound? Um, how is pushing into that like kind of manifesting for you? And then I'm gonna give a broader question because um I want to talk a little bit about other stuff, but I kind of want to like wrap this up. Like what is the direction for you? Like what's going on? And it's okay
Yeah.
if you don't know.
I
But I
yeah.
definitely for me I feel you pushing and I feel an energy of like a shift. And I think, especially the 5 year anniversary and stuff too, like, are you thinking of other things?
Yeah, I think that like the trajectory that I'm at is the trajectory that I think I have always wanted all along. This specific sound that combines the elements, bits and elements of the popular music with the underground, with these different sounds, with this focus on this energy or
Yeah.
vibrancy. Like I think that was something that I'd always was aiming for anyways, and it was going to happen. It just needed a few pushes to get that way. And I love this about DJs as they get older over time and keep DJing, is that the individual thumbprint of your specific sound gets more and more like laser focused,
Yeah.
and you can kind of like
You feel it.
you can feel more confident in the things that you like, and what you're playing is like, oh, this sounds like me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like I'm getting to a point right now. I recently, one of the other kind of residencies that I have is I DJ at Jones Pond Campground every
Yeah.
once in a while, which is located just outside Angelica. It's an all male like campground resort.
Mm-hmm.
I play there at the 4th of July weekend all the time. It's my favorite time to go because it's always very busy, and I want nothing to do about celebrating the United States of
Yeah, yeah,
America.
yeah.
So I go there
It's just a
instead.
party for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the one of the many parties I did this past weekend was I DJ'd an after party there, and I was like, this is a late night, 1 a.m. to 4:30
Yeah.
a.m. And I was like, let me combine all of those elements of the things I like. This crazy, like the euphoric melodic techno, the prog house, the proggy stuff,
Yeah.
the crazy remixes that I love, this high energy, and like give it. And it was a packed like RV site of dudes dancing their asses
That
off.
sounds dope.
A sound that I don't think has ever really happened at Jones Pond before in that
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah.
And it was really fucking cool to like be like, oh yeah, this is like the more I play this sound out to people, the more people hear it, and the more that there's this positive response to it, the more assured I am like, okay, this is the path.
Yeah.
And I do want to play other parties outside of the city. I do want to be booked for things when it's not just pop. But I also am
Yeah.
receptive to that because I know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where I am now
But
with
you're going in with a very flexible skill set that I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people
I love the idea of
um
being a chameleon on
can
the
claim.
decks. I
Yeah.
love the idea of being like, I know how to read a room or what is maybe needed in a moment in a space.
Yeah.
And like, this is a good example of like, I know how to play juice box, not because it's my party, but because I know what the sound is going to be giving.
Yeah.
And then I also will know like how to play something like Soul Rehab.
Yeah.
Those element like
Yeah.
they are two different things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really quite know exactly the party landscape, but it's big, you know,
Mhm.
like there's always underground stuff happening and
Yeah.
people have their moments and it is, you know, you do see that like happening and like it's like, oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
well, no, I definitely sense that you were kind of like pushing. It's just the best way
Yeah.
I could say it.
We'll see what happens,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, my heart is deeply in Rochester and like I if I get things, that's exciting and cool, but I really really I think that like I haven't touched on this yet. And this leans into the energy of everything I do in Juicebox, Rendezvous, all of the stuff I do with Flora
Hmm.
and just queer Rochester in general. Growing up as a gay guy in Rochester, I was surrounded constantly by these other gay guys that would be like, this town is so fucking boring. I'm gonna go to New York City. I'm gonna move to Chicago. They have market days there. I'm gonna go
Hmm.
to Folsom in San Francisco. I'm gonna go to P Town. I'm gonna go to Puerto Vallarta because there's nothing to do in this city and it's boring.
Yeah.
And I honestly, the reason that for what I can call the success of Juicebox and Rendezvous and everything we do is partly there because I was really fucking sick and tired of people saying they hated this town and that
Yeah.
it was boring for queer
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I I got tired of it. If you want a place to be fun, you have to invest in that place and do it well and
Yeah.
provide value to the city if you want it to be cool and fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with Juicebox and with Rendezvous and these other things that we
People will come
do.
out. People will come
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
like if you want it to be fun, you have to make it fun. And
Yeah.
like I wanted fun. I want to have fun dance floors where I grow up,
That's
and
very much, yeah,
you
what
know,
I want.
I
Yeah.
want, and this is, you know, dare I say, this is our fifth year into Juice Box,
Hmm.
and Rendezvous coming up too. Like, we're getting to a point now where people will message me or chat with me, and they'll be like, "Oh, I kind of don't want to go to New York City this weekend. I want to stay for
Yeah.
Juice Box,
Yeah.
or
Because these parties are
I want to stay for
killer. Yeah.
Rendezvous, or like, and I want people to second guess going to PV and
Yeah.
P Town in San
Yeah.
Francisco. Like, we should just stay here because
Because
Rochester is
because
fucking
the
cool.
party, no, the parties are
The
so
city is
good.
it. We got shit going on
Yeah.
that's
And then
really
you also
fun.
have that community element too, you know, I don't want to stereotype too much, but you know, you might go to P Town and it might be mostly just cis gay dudes.
You know, there's
And then you
people, yeah,
yeah, and then you have, you know, your like colorism issues and stuff, you know,
deeply.
like here the vibe you've cultivated is just so inclusive and it's so immaculate, you know, when it comes to that. And it's
Yeah,
just like,
people,
yeah.
you know, I keep saying gay guys because I do think, you know, it happens with a lot of queer folks when they go and travel to the big cities and whatnot. Yeah, like New York City is the fucking vibe, and like Chicago Market Days and P Town, and
Mm-hmm.
all of these places are really cool. But I am also pretty certain that, you know, a lot of these gay guys put so much energy going to these places and maybe just feel a little leaving a little empty
Mm-hmm.
because maybe they were missing something at these places that they were told are so fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it could be filled in another capacity where there's a lot of value can be provided. And I think Rochester, we're doing that here.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. It's
It's
happening.
special. There's too much talent to just go to waste here too.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well, thanks for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. So
What time are we at?
we're at like 1 hour 40 minutes, which is great because
L-
I said this is probably gonna be the longest one. I guess
I can round it up to 2 if you want.
yeah, I
We
think
got
what
20
I'm
minutes.
thinking is this would be the time for you to share what you want to share, maybe off the top of your head. If you want to
Yeah.
go into something about you like the whales, you can, or if you want
Oh
to go yeah, or
yeah.
whatever.
Shit, we haven't talked about that.
I will say though, I think I have like 4 people watching,
Mhm.
but maybe one of those is me. If anybody wants to ask Brian a
Oh yeah,
question,
if anyone has
yeah, I know
questions,
we have people
please.
watching.
Yeah.
Shoot out that question. You know, we got about 20 minutes or
Mhm.
so. But yeah, you know, I'm done with my questions.
Sure.
So you can just share whatever you want to.
Yeah, I'll share
Yeah.
about the whales. I'll also share like my day job is I work at Trillium Health.
Mm-hmm.
The correlation, I'm gonna backtrack to about HIV. I am living with HIV. I've been undetectable for like, I don't know, like 15-ish years now. And with my work with advocacy, working with the community, talking about sexual health and HIV and whatnot, it's interesting the dynamic with my day job. It connects to my night job in some capacities, because you know, Trillium will just like come and table a juice box,
Yep.
like, and they get so excited to do it too, and they love to
Yeah.
be a part of it. That is like my bread maker. Let me backtrack to also people that organize parties. You're not gonna make money when you do it. Really. It's not a money. It's you
Yeah.
don't do it to make money.
Yeah.
You do it to build community and create spaces for people to have fun.
And if
And
you are
maybe
if you are making money,
once in a while you get a party that
yeah.
is a hit and
Yeah.
you make some coin, but generally speaking,
Yeah.
it's even
But I think
Stevens.
that's how you keep it ethical too.
Yeah,
I
truly.
think once you start getting those commercial interests and it gets bigger and scarier, that's
Yeah.
when it's you're seeing all this shit come up lately.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The whales. Prior to DJing, prior to the pandemic, um, as a kid growing up, I was fascinated with marine life,
Mm-hmm.
specifically whales and dolphins. I find the ocean incredibly fascinating and beautiful and cool. Whales are just fascinating living creatures that are 45 to 60 feet long and hearts the size of a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
Uh, they're just and gentle and social. And I ended up interning and then working at a whale watching company off the coast of Massachusetts in a town called Gloucester. Gloucester is the oldest seaport in the United States. It's in the North Shore of Massachusetts and technically kind of on an island. Beautiful little bucolic New England seaport. I love it there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And on this boat, I would be a naturalist, which is basically an educator on the boat, on the microphone, pointing out species that you're seeing on this whale watching
Yeah,
trip,
yeah.
which is like an ocean safari.
That's so cool.
Photo IDing these whales because the backs of humpback whale tails are never the same. They're always different patterns. So it's like human fingerprints. We've been following the same individuals for 40,
Wow.
50 years. Um, and I just love teaching and educating people about these cool things I'm obsessed with. And I was going to things like I was going to conferences, like international conferences in like California, Halifax. I worked overseas at building up a sustainable ecotourism whale watching company in
Yeah.
Mozambique, which is
Mozambique's
Mozambique
crazy.
Island, which is off the coast of Eastern Africa.
Yeah.
It's like I got to the point where like I have no degree in this field. I just weaseled my way in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I hit the ceiling. So right around 2018 was the time where I was like, this is becoming more of a passion and less of a career
Yeah.
that's making me money and I needed a job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so that's how Trillium Health kind of fell into my lap. So
That's awesome though.
yeah,
That's really
it's
cool.
cool.
And I've been thinking a lot about whales too because I just think about how like they're so intelligent
Yeah.
and they have like just these amazing like language patterns and stuff.
Beyond the scope of our
Yeah.
own languages, they're
Yeah.
wildly intelligent.
Yeah.
And I was on my way here. I was thinking about like trying to find the correlations to everything I do with queer nightlife and DJing and that world.
Yeah.
And it's I I really don't think there's much of a connection. I just like it brings me so much calm, that world and that existence. I do foresee myself probably once I'm done here ending up back in Gloucester
That'd
or
be
ending up
awesome.
in by the ocean again in some
That's so
capacity.
cool. I love that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's cool.
Okay. So we do have a question.
Yeah, we do.
A certain Pat Sandora says,
Hi, Pat.
Brian, Brian, which party slash event is next on your wish list to play?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a really good question. Which next party? The ones that I really want to play that I'd be following a lot of the pop dance parties that go on in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
DJ John Ali, we've had a couple times
It's
in
like
Juice
YS or
Box.
something.
Well, yes, is one of his
Well,
parties.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, something.
The a lot of the
Yeah,
parties that he DJs down in New York City look a lot of fun, very like that high energy pop
yeah,
remix stuff that I we do up here. Or any like the Ty Sunderland tea boat parties in New York look really cool. There's a there's a couple like in my little underground heart. There's a couple parties that I have heard of in LA that I would like to play sometime, which would be really kind of dope. James Axon is a favorite DJ of mine. He's an underground selector
yeah,
in Southern California, LA.
yeah.
He organizes a lot of parties out there that are really sick and vary my sound and like, or at least like a sound that resonates with me. Great house and techno. Um, Really fun.
What about a party called Honcho?
Honcho wing.
What about a party called Honcho?
There is a party called Honcho Campout that is
Hmm.
yeah, that would be really sick. Amazing queer
I'm just
fairy
gonna
tale
put it out. I'm just gonna
fantasy
put it out
in the woods
there.
in Pennsylvania. Yeah,
It's like you
Honcho
said earlier. Yeah,
Campout, playing Campout would
yeah.
be that's definitely like a oh, this is
Hmm.
like
Like a goal,
a
goal.
goal. Absolutely goal.
Yeah,
Camp out would be incredible. I also just really like being invited to the local parties between Western New York throughout the Rust Belt. Our friends up in Toronto that organize Rusted would love to play that party.
yeah,
It's so fun. And that I can check off international DJ when I
yeah.
play Canada.
You could do that.
So
That's so dope. It's right there. No, like Canada,
um
the Toronto connection is there too.
yeah, one
Cool.
of the international festivals I would always love to go to, but also would just love to play is Love International, which is off, I think it's in Croatia.
Okay,
Just
might have
very
heard of it.
Balearic, like vibey, like sunset on the ocean kind of
Okay,
vibes.
yeah.
Very beautiful kind of vibes over there. Love to go to that party or and play it. I'm so surprised I didn't say camp out so quickly. It's like something that I like would love to do. It's
I know. I was just like,
yeah.
hmm,
I am
I'll
a
throw that in
I'm a
there.
visitor for now.
Yeah.
And I yeah,
I think looking at Honcho, and I've never been, by the way, I want to go. It always falls when I have summer school.
yeah.
So now I work at a school. It
Mhm.
fucking blows. I miss it every time.
Right.
Um, I think they definitely have an element of whoever they book. They like to see that background in the investment in their communities
Oh
and the
yeah.
investment of the
Yeah.
advocacy and obviously being like kind of queer
And
focused
highly,
or at
highly
least POC
curated.
focused. You see that,
Yeah.
like what community are you serving? I
Hmm.
have that ethos with who I book with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
So I think you have that, and I think like we said earlier, and you won't know unless you ask. Like you're like there's
True.
yeah,
Like
you have the
Pat
connections.
says,
Yeah,
you have to ask for the things that you
yeah,
want, but also I mentioned all these different parties and it was honestly kind of hard to think of things quickly.
mm-hmm,
I really love the organic growth of my career.
mm-hmm,
I love the journey I've had so far and the things that I have gotten, the things that I've asked for, the things that have been given to me, the invitations. I anything into the future I am excited and looking forward to
yeah,
because it just adds to the tapestry of my career thus far.
yeah. But you
Um
don't want to force it.
yeah, no, I'm not a big yeah.
Yeah,
I want the invitations to come my way when they deserve to come and
yeah.
they will come when they do.
I think they will. All right, we got another question.
Yes.
Our friend Charlie Genesis says, Brian, do you
Hi
see
Charlie.
any gaps/unmet needs in Rochester nightlife you'd like addressed in the coming years?
All the
Ooh.
time.
Here's the
All the time.
tea portion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, let's get into it.
The thing about nightlife in Rochester, and because I know it better, I'll speak more laser focused on queer nightlife in Rochester. The awesome thing that's kind of like unspoken but understood, I guess, between organizers of parties like Juicebox popped the fuck off after the pandemic, and not long after Juicebox did that, the only other thing was kind of Soul Rehab for queer parties, and multiple other iterations have come out since then and have been created.
Yeah.
Other types of parties. You had like Body Language. You had Open House, which was this past Friday with Ian David, Ian Layton, and Will Partuzzo was the DJ there that night.
Mm-hmm.
Love both of them dearly. Circle Back, Rendezvous. I'm gonna forget different things. The point of this is that talking about how everyone brings something to the table to create this symbiosis between each other and making sure that a need is met, a genre is met, a sound is met in Rochester.
Yeah.
The word symbiosis is kind of one that Ian and I bounced off of. Love how everyone kind of fills a gap, but there's always a gap that is missing that needs to be filled. I would love to see like a Latin club
Mm-hmm.
party night in Rochester, specifically like queer, like would love that kind of sound. I don't think there really is that happening
Mm-hmm.
consistently in any capacity. I know there's like Latin flair night at Roar nightclub all the time, but like there's other genres and there's other kind of like energies that are missed. I'm gonna say honestly, like a lot of sound that can be backed by folks of color.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those genres that are not really covered or hit a lot of the time in queer Rochester.
Yeah.
And I think those are things that should be addressed, and opportunities for people to become DJs or like get those platforms to play these kinds of sounds, like they should be taken.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I've had that in the past where folks have come to me and said, I wish you would play XYZ more, this type of genre. It would be a disservice to the genre and I would and could, but like I would rather someone do it from their
Yeah.
heart
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Because
actually,
it's like, yeah, it's like connected to them.
yeah.
That's a really cool thing.
Hmm.
Well, I did a little bit. You might have probably heard a little bit. I played a little bit of Mex Tech last night,
You
which is
did. I
a
did hear that.
really
Yes.
fucking cool genre.
Hmm.
It's really sick. It has like some adjacent stuff. It sounds a little almost circuit party-ish at
The
times.
drums.
Yeah, there's drums, but they also have like the kind of like those do 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 do, like those
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stabs, that always
Hmm.
sound a little like weird and cheap, but like it's like well done.
That comes from you. That comes
Yeah,
from like
yeah,
a grown like
yeah,
background of like loving that kind of sound and
yeah. And I've been
music. Like,
collecting more like Latin tracks, but
yeah.
I don't speak Spanish that well, but I
Yeah.
do like the sort of like cumbia influence and stuff too.
Hmm.
So that's really cool. All
Absolutely.
right, I have one question, and I think unless we had another one coming,
Hmm.
this is my personal question.
Okay.
So, um, I spent my 20s being terrified, and I'm very transparent about that.
Hmm.
I tried a previous iteration of this project called the Monitor Mix, which some people know about.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and I was just not able to like lock in. And it's like a lot of fear, and even DJing out a lot of fear. Like I was like very I DJ'd last night. That's really fun. I was like
It was phenomenal.
oh, thank you.
It
I
was
was
so
like
fun.
terrified. I don't know why I have a really crazy relationship with DJing because I like can do it, but I just like freak out. But now I'm considering, well, not considering. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start my own party called Kooky Pookie,
Hmm.
which is trying to bring more of this sort of uh lack of a better word, trippy world music to Rochester. This is a thing that's in other cities.
Hmm.
I'm highly inspired by the Multiculti Space Garage in Montreal, and I've seen it go down, and it's a very it's honed in sound of trippy disco.
Yeah.
And people toss in tracks into their sets and stuff, but the sets I've seen or heard, the entire set is just that, and I'd love to shoot those your
Yeah,
way.
yeah, please. I'd love to listen.
So my sort of question is, what advice would you give to me going into the promoter space and to others that maybe would be interested in starting their own parties or going into the promoter space? Because that's something that I know I have the gift of gab. I don't know about my energy levels. We're so there.
Hmm.
I hope and find collaborators. Please, if you're interested and I don't want to do this alone. Like I
Hmm.
think a lot of success with Juicebox is that you didn't do it alone.
Right.
You had Maxi, you had other people helping you, and there's
Hmm.
like just a family, and you can kind of like lean on each other.
Yes.
So I guess long question, like what advice would you give to me, and then not just me, like other people that are like, oh, you know what? I might just want to do a party, not even to DJ. I might
Yeah.
just want to make a party or design for a party.
Hmm.
So
I think like one of the things you do bring up is collaboration is not only key, it's power. It's also it is the power source for you, especially when you mentioned that like maybe the energy you don't have it there. When the load is shared, it like really not only propels an idea forward, but it also creates space with other minds thinking of different things. And like I love utilizing collaboration in some capacity. So, like a good example you mentioned is Juicebox. Like Maxi, love him so fucking much. Because he there's so much about the zhuzh and the creative aspects of Juicebox that would not be there if it wasn't collaborating and working with him,
Yeah.
bouncing ideas off of each other. He is now also DJing at Juicebox and is another new
Fantastic.
resident, a
Fantastic
fantastic
DJ.
new
Yeah.
resident DJ at Juice.
Yeah.
And it also takes the load off of me a bit about the pressures of the anticipations for the sound and whatnot that we will be presenting. Finding other creatives that are in the city that have ideas similar to yours or that are interested in what your idea is. And I think a lot of DJing can be kind of like a selfish idea. A lot of people can approach it in the way of like, I have this idea and I have this sound and this thing that I want to do, but it's there's a lot. I just think there's a lot more power in combining creative efforts with people
Yeah.
to make something happen, especially when it's providing a good service to like a region or a city. Yeah, collaboration is really huge. I also think that like reading the room and understanding what a city is missing or needs. Like as Charlie brings up, like there is if there is a gap, then it should be filled.
Yeah.
And being really kind of focused on the intention of that gap and that idea, the sound that you bring up
Yeah.
specifically, like I think really like understanding that it's not about you creating your party. It's about you kind of filling a niche
Yeah.
and like of energy and sound that is missing in an
That's
area.
definitely what I felt. I was
Yeah.
like, I like this sound so much. This is
And that this is maybe
literally
something that isn't in
changing my
Rochester.
trajectory.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought, and you saw me play techno
Mhm.
yesterday. And when I get into the flow and I start playing techno, I play like good techno.
Mhm.
But there's a very similar flow when I play more like down tempo, trippy shit.
Yeah.
Um, like more earthy shit.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is so cool, but it's like not really hard enough to really have a whole like party around it. So it really has
Yeah.
to be has to be a lot more like rendezvous. It has to be more like hanging out.
Kind of like this last
Yeah.
rendezvous, the
Yeah.
atmospheric vibes that people were giving all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like, and it's something that like you also have to kind of like gauge how much is something needed. I
Yeah.
find that in Rochester, a lot of folks don't really care about what genres are being played. If there's a party, they're gonna go to
Yeah.
it.
I will say though, just for myself,
Yeah.
I do want it to be a little pseudo. I don't know it's a bad
If
word
you build
now.
it, the right
I
people will
want it to
come.
be a little pseudo Burning Man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't think that's happening per se. I do think there's like outdoor parties and stuff, but I do want that. And also, while I will have very clear guidelines about it being queer inclusive and stuff.
Yeah.
I want like
I
people
think
to show up.
you're gonna have people that are gonna just show because it's something new,
Yeah.
but you're gonna also have the if you build it, they will come type people that are like, I've been looking for this,
Yeah.
and they will keep coming back.
I've had a few people reach out. My energy levels have been so stretched between like this and photos, and I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, this is another thing about organizing events.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'm like,
you need to have a lot of energy, and you can't be the only one doing it.
Yeah.
Share the load.
So if anybody is interested, Cookie Pookie, reach out.
Cookie Pookie. And what's the handle?
At Cookie Pookie Stuff.
I like the fun. Logo. The design is really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, because it's last things, and I wanted to detract from your interview too much. It's not. It's also meant to be a bit of an advocacy for the psychedelic sphere of music as well. As well as
people thinking about music outside of the context of a dance floor.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, looking like with your mind.
I like the idea of people coming and being like, "Ooh, I felt refreshed. Like I felt healed.
Yes.
Like I was able to engage in something or whatever." And that's going to be a tricky balance.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I think that's all the questions we got.
Cool.
Amazing. It is 5:03, which means we hit 2 hours, which means you have the IP guest length record. And yeah.
That was the goal, low-key. I have a lot to say. But also, I had a feeling it was going to be a long conversation.
This is... I will say this. I do usually say, too, do you have anything you want to tell anybody? Any things?
I can share about the Rochester Pride things that are coming up. We mentioned them a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's throw out some parties and stuff.
Juicebox is coming up on its 5-year anniversary. This Friday, July 17th. We already brought it up. Yeah.
A little flyer.
If y'all love pop shit, gay anthem shit, dancey shit, fun shit, rainbow shit, Pride is gonna be Juice Box Pride is going to be our thing.
Yeah.
Again, this is one of my favorite lineups we've had so far, and I'm really excited for that. I also want to give a shout out to the Saturday party that's coming up, July 18th. Soul Rehab is doing a collaborative with a new party that is coming up in Rochester called Tandem. Tandem is being headed by Ethan Beckwith Cohen, EBC. A few other folks are involved as well. And we are having the distinct honor of EBC opening for the one and only Carrie Nation, coming in from New York City.
Which is huge.
Legendary,
Yeah,
iconic,
very
incredible
great.
duo. Nita Aviance is from Rochester. Shout out Nita, love you, girl. They're going to be to have them here. We've had them once before in Rochester through Soul Rehab just before the Panini hit. It was the craziest experience. Carrie Nation is incredible, and if you want an experience on the dance floor, I cannot recommend everyone enough to buy your tickets to Tandem.
Yeah.
And go Soul Tandem on Saturday.
This is gonna be a crazy Pride weekend.
Crazier
and it's in my opinion, like, you know, once again we mentioned like more kind of bigger major cities, it's operating at that level.
Yeah. And Friday night, if
Yeah.
Juice Box isn't your thing, may I please suggest Mutualism, Sherry Miller from Buffalo, DJing at Flora that night. Love Sherry Miller so much. She's incredible. One of the residents of Buddy Buddy.
Yep.
And then Sunday, we're having Rapture, which is our regular Sunday after party that Tom organizes.
Yep.
We'll be having it at Flora, and we have Will Partuzzo DJing opening up, and then he will be opening for Honcho.
Yep.
Like who we just name dropped.
Which is amazing. So it's gonna be a crazy weekend. There might be some after parties.
There might be some after parties going on. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you ask around,
truly,
you might find out about that. But yeah, this is gonna be crazy. I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be so good for us. And do you have anything like beyond just announcements? Do you have something you want to say just to people?
I love y'all so much. I love Rochester so much, and I was so excited to just fucking yap my face off about DJing because I just have not really. Honestly, whenever I go up to anyone, my friends will ask me how I'm doing. It'll always go back to talking about this shit, but to do it in a capacity where it's kind of breaking down the elements of the lore of me and Juice and Rendezvous, like was so exciting to do this. And none of it happens and is successful without all of you. So I'm glad you guys like what I do.
But things are coming. There's
always bigger things coming.
There's so many new parties and there's so much talent and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think, you've been really pivotal to showing people that
Rochester's it.
Yeah, that Rochester's it. That really, if you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't be afraid, just do it and stuff. So
yeah.
All right, everybody, we're gonna switch to the session portion in a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and put up my little screen.
Should I share what the session's gonna be?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
so, cool. Brian's gonna share why this one's a little bit different.
So I don't know if anyone knows a bit of the lore of what happened recently, but one of my external hard drives is not working, and it's got 60,000 songs on it that I can't access. So, it was my initial idea of what I was going to do is kind of scrapped for this mix. This new mix is, I like the idea of it being a soft opening to the energy of Rochester Pride Weekend. It's kind of a summery, Balearic, sunsetty, like I'm on a beach kind of vibe, kind of warming us up to the sun and the summer vibes that will be present at Pride. And I have a ton of most of these tracks are actually tracks that have been sent to me by my friends and from DJ friends I think of my friends and my other DJ friends when I hear this song. All of these tracks, if you are who you are that's listening to it, you're going to be like, oh, this is me. It's all stuff that makes me think of all of my friends in the community in Rochester and my DJ pals that have, known each other over the years.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a little love letter back.
Yeah, to everyone.
A little audio kind of shout out.
And very much so, like, there'll be some things that everyone's going to know, but it's going to be very much going back to my, let's, put the pop to the side for a moment.
That's cool.
There'll be a couple in there.
All right. We're going to get started.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a pleasure. And this is such a cool concept. Truly. I love this.
Thank you. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so I'm glad that it's finally working out.
Yeah.